So, hello everyone, Turnerburner here, and I'm with Cherry Quench.
Hello?
You may know him. You may know him as being the friendliest person in the Gears community. He has outstanding tier lists for Horde and Escape. I could go on and on, but overall, he's just a genuine good dude. Cherry, how you doing, man?
I'm
Welcome.
I'm doing all right. I'm the kindest person? I am?
Yeah,
Dang.
I would say so.
I
Like I've
mean,
interacted with a lot of people.
I got all that toxicity out in Gears 2 and 3 to keep like
uh,
if anybody like goes and it's like, wait a minute, whatever happened to that guy Dragon Force 10
yeah.
back in the day? It's like, oh, that's him.
See a bunch of dislikes on my
Yeah, just
video, like, nah, he ain't kind at all.
nah,
He
nah,
did
nah.
this.
We hated that one montage you did too.
Yeah, I mean, Gears 2 is like a whole different animal because it's like it's a great game and all, but man, if you played versus
Oh yeah.
and you did not have host, it was a
Oh
problem.
my
It was
gosh.
definitely it was a problem. But so like if you were like kind of a certain way in Gears 2, we won't hold it against you. I know I was probably worse, so we'll just leave it at that.
I mean, yeah, we've grown, we've learned over this time.
Yeah, we gotten older. Yeah, so like, but so I know this because I've been talking to you in chat, but if you could tell, not the world necessarily, but if you could tell us, where you from?
So I am from Pittsburgh, out in western Pennsylvania, the area that, what I think it just got ranked the cloudiest city in the country, which is awful.
Seriously?
Yeah, I was like,
I
what?
didn't
Like,
know
what
that.
about Seattle? Seattle's always like the rainy place, right? And they're like, nope, nope, they get sunny days. Like, oh, well, God. Okay, cool.
What did they say? Like why it's cloudy? Like cloudy because of smoke, or
It's just weather, I think.
like industry? Okay, I
From
wasn't sure if it was industry related or
from
what.
what I know, it's just weather. But yeah, I'm from Pittsburgh, and well, I've lived around here my whole life, and just God, now I'm just thinking, yeah, I was playing Gears 1 on like that old DSL internet for the longest time, and it was only with Gears 4 that I actually played this franchise with an internet that's worth a damn, and that's kind of wild to think about. Um,
Mm. I what is it? The internet I have, which I really wish it was more nationwide, but I had you familiar with Verizon
oh
FiOS?
yeah,
They don't. I found out the hard way. It's not everywhere,
no,
but yeah, that
no,
internet was pristine. I had that for Gears too, but it didn't matter if you didn't have hosts. So,
right,
but but yeah, so
and
but yeah, like
oh,
go
I
ahead.
was just saying, like, and I know we found out that we actually like lived fairly close to each other at points,
Yeah,
like, which
I was
is
about to.
wild.
Yeah, I find that crazy that I'm like, because like the Best Buy that you said you worked at one point, I was
Hmm.
like, I'm pretty sure there's like a good chance I may have met you like incidentally or at least seen you in person.
There's a
Because
fair chance, which is just, like, that Best Buy
yeah,
just like breeds horde players, I guess. I
yeah,
didn't know what I was
because
doing there.
yeah, what did we figure out? It was 40 minutes from each other because I grew up in Pittsburgh and Penn
Yeah,
Hills.
yeah, and
Yeah, so
I'm out west.
yeah. When I saw that in that one stream, I was like, "Are you shitting me? Like
Which
what?"
I don't know what it is with Gears too. I had a buddy for like from Gears 1 to Gears Ultimate that I played with pretty
Yeah,
religiously, and he lived like I've now driven around where he lived, and I'm like we
yeah.
found each other in ranked. I think it was like a garden match in particular on ranked execution on Gears 1, and like
Oh
we're just like,
boy.
oh yeah, by the way, I live here. I'm like, oh no way.
Oh man, that's pretty sick. Small world,
Yeah, something about
super small.
Western Pennsylvania and Gears is a thing. I don't know.
Yeah, we breed the best PVE horde. No, I don't know.
I'm like, well, the western half of the state is incredibly gray, and Gears 1 was incredibly gray. So like, wow,
There you
wow,
go.
this looks like I feel represented.
It makes sense. Makes sense. How did you how did you get into gaming? What was your first system, if you
So
remember?
my first game, and like I know this a lot from just being the content creator around gaming and stuff. I remember it was my mom's Windows 3.1 machine. Was my first experience. It had just like a whole bunch of demos on it. You had to like kind of type in a code to get to them.
Yeah.
The only game I remember actually playing first has to be Doom, which is great for like a 4-year-old. Is the game like one of the games that kicked off all of the is video. Do video games make you violent controversy? It started with that, and then like me and my brother both really enjoyed playing video games on that until my mom got us a PlayStation. My mom and dad being split. Same year, my dad got me a Nintendo 64, so it kind of worked out like that, and just
Hmm.
kept evolving, but for me at least, into a full-blown addiction from there.
What is it? I heard you say about the video games make you violent. Like I've had that
Oh
conversation,
yeah,
and I don't understand how people can come to that conclusion. I mean, like Hitler wasn't playing like Gear 6 or some
right.
shit, and all the dictators before that. I
That's
mean, do you think Kim Jong Un right now is like playing Call of Duty?
I
No.
mean, if he's
So
hiding gears, if he's hiding Gear 6, I mean, like, man, I guess that's a place to hide it. Like that.
yeah, yeah. No one would be getting to it.
Ugh,
That's for sure.
frustrating.
If it was there.
But yeah, like I wrote like I remember that was always like since I was the video game guy, and I think
Yeah.
I definitely ranked in like the top 3 most like gamey people at my that's not the right way to say it in the most gamer people in my school throughout high school and stuff. So like of course I'm the one that's like all right, well let me hit the immediate hot button, bam.
Yeah.
Do video games make you violent? Like it was
Oh
always
man.
weird because it always got brought up and associated, but then like the amount of times I used hyper violent video games to calm down at the end of the day,
Yeah.
or like me editing, like I'm editing through one of the biggest, like the hardest projects I've ever worked on right now, and I'm like to relax
Yeah.
I'm playing Bloodborne on my PlayStation.
Yeah.
And my friends are calling me out like playing Bloodborne, yeah, to calm down,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. I hear you panicking. Yeah, that's a part
Hey,
of it.
I mean, whatever
It's
works.
like, rip a Wolverine's, chest out, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think there's any. I mean, I guess it's possible someone can be influenced, but to just broad stroke it as like, yes, A plus B equals C.
Right.
That's just basically wrong. But yeah, I guess you don't technically know who could be, like, oh, I saw whatever in Call of Duty, and now,
Yeah. It's like
But
keep tabs on you as well as then, like, if you're a parent or something. It seems like just keeping
yeah,
tabs on your kid and, like, all right, how are they reacting to it? You notice behavioral changes and stuff like that. And I mean, that digs into psychology.
yeah,
I notice
yeah,
for me, it's if anything is going to make me violent or overwhelmingly angry, it's not the game, it's the people, by a mile. Uh,
yep.
it's like
That's true. Yeah, I can't even play PvP more without like just
I
I can't do
I
it.
watch people. Well, the best example I got was like I watch people punch keyboards for Fall Guys. Like, like Fall Guys is rated E for everyone. Innocent, you're a little bean.
Yeah.
Just jumping obstacles and people like punching keyboards to the point where their keys are popping out of their keyboard. I'm like, yeah, that's where I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's the violent part of the video game that's making them angry.
Mm-mm.
It might be the competition,
No.
it might be the toxicity, but the violence,
Yeah,
nah,
exactly.
not as much.
Nah. Yeah, sounds like we agree.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I'd be a psychopath.
which
Um,
we all would.
Yeah, right?
With the time we put into it, But which Gears was your first? I think you said, did you start with one?
it was one. Yeah,
yeah, okay.
started a couple months after it came out. It was like February 2007, if I recall right. It was like
Oh, you're wow.
like
Okay.
I'm trying to think because it was I like I always say I'm a bit of a Sony pony and I've grown up being a Sony pony, and
Yeah.
it was like the PS3 just launched bad. It was that $600 price tag, and like there was not that many games,
Mm-hmm.
and all the while I read Game Informer articles on Gears of War, and then that freaking Mad World trailer. Like it was like the best. I'm like, this is the best damn trailer I've ever seen. It's so
Yeah.
good. It's so emotional and stuff. And I'm like, like Christmas money came around, and just when I had in finances, I'm like, oh, just try out Gears. It's probably gonna be good. You'll like it. Get an Xbox 360. And yeah, it blew my mind.
Yeah, it was revolutionary. It blew
Right.
everyone's mind. It was excellent. Yeah.
Just crazy. Like a few of us just keep talking about it, like in our like we just run the dailies and stuff like that on our Discord and stuff, and I just keep bringing up like this game came so close to probably just flopping because like the mechanics were amazing and the visuals were great for the time, but I'm like that campaign's 3 hours long. Like, if it wasn't for them adding on the multiplayer, I'm like, oh my god, this I feel like that would have been like all so close to never happening. Like, suddenly
that's a good point.
Or what I think of the game. I think it came out in 2009 called Dark Void. It was like a third-person shooter, but it used like vertical warfare, and it was like a lot of jetpacks and like it was almost like Gears of War, but if it had a baby with like Mass Effect, was what it kind of felt like. Which cool combo. But only had a campaign. I heard it was incredibly short and then gone in a flash. I'm like, oh my god, Gears was almost that. Like, the fact like they threw in that multiplayer. I think they said they threw in the multiplayer last minute, and it took off even with bugs and glitches and kung fu flips and all.
Yeah, it's what is it? I don't even know if I've played Gears 1 multiplayer, because I came with Gears 2.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I've heard about like I think the host bad in that too?
Yeah,
like it was Gears 2 worse.
I was wondering why you were saying Gears 2 in particular, because Gears 1, it was one of those like I noticed it dulled down a little bit in Gears 2 in comparison to Gears 1. That was just my take. I know that can be like people could have different opinions on that. Like Gears 1, it was the like if you the best thing I got was if you were making a montage back then for YouTube, you weren't anything if you were playing on host. Like, oh, who cares? You played on host. You had the perfect shots, perfect connections. Your montage doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're supposed to win.
Right.
Yeah.
It was that powerful. I remember that shotgun being predominantly more powerful in Gears 1. But it was just like that gameplay. Just that gameplay was so unique. It was a blast. we were when we're willing to wait 5 minutes as people hide and try and wall bounce around each other and gridlock and just oh my god, it was so good.
Yeah, I what is it for me as far as like I think I like Gears 2 the most, but then I would put like I'd probably go, if I were to pick between the original trilogy, I'd probably go 2, 3, 1, honestly.
I gotcha.
I think a lot of people like 3 more.
Yeah.
I like the multiplayer in 3 more because they had dedicated servers. But as far as like in its totality, I think I don't know, just Gears 2, I thought, what happened to Maria, and then also
that's true.
Some of the maps.
Ben.
There's a map that they really need to remaster. Let me get it right. It's not Allfather's Garden. Yeah, Allfather's Garden. That is my favorite Gears map, period. But for some reason, it's not remastered on any of them.
Right?
Like 3, 4, 5, none of them.
That map.
I don't know why.
That map pack was.
I remember $10.
Arguably one of the best map packs I've ever seen in a video game, and that's playing through a lot of different shooters and stuff. Maybe Team Fortress 2's got a little bit up on it, but like that pack I think was the one that had Allfather's Garden, Nowhere, Highway, Memorial.
Yep.
Oh, there's another really good one in there. I know I wasn't crazy about Way Station. That was 5, and there was insert map number 6 that I forgot. I can't remember.
Chad, if you remember,
Fuel Station?
map number.
Not Fuel Depot. There was Fuel Station, the one that had a scorcher on top of a roof. I remember camping up on that roof like a complete dick back in the day. Wait, are we allowed to swear? Okay, I was being cautious. But yeah, I just remember me and my buddy would just hide up there. He grabbed the scorcher. I'm sitting there with the Nasher, like one side of the staircase, the other side he's scorching down on enemies walking up, and I just poof.
Oh god.
And then
Scorcher used to be insane on host. Oh
right,
my gosh.
and then they send us hate messages, and then we blast back music through our microphone. It was a good time.
Yep, that's exactly. Oh man. Like if someone, I remember back in the day, if someone would like talk smack, and I'm naturally like, I like to debate, argue, however you want to slice it. So like if someone like says something, I'm like, oh yeah, like I get excited about the argument. Like I kind of forget like what we're arguing about. So I'm just like, I'll argue over things I like. I may even agree with the person I'm talking to, but like I'll disguise it in a way to where we're still arguing. But
God, that does sound like me. Or at least like
I have fun doing it though.
Like we would even I just remember I would like we'd be in total agreement, but I'm just like I don't like the way that guy said that. I don't like his tone.
Yeah.
Like and just start messing with him there, and like then if somebody was truly outrageous and truly toxic, and like they chose to get toxic on Tyro Station, well, I'm just gonna go get run over by the train and not play because I don't feel like it.
Oh, man.
Especially when they took that 5 ranking system that was at the launch of Gears 2. When they took that away, then man, it just didn't matter.
What is it? I think I came at the end, so I don't think I even experienced the ranking system.
Like, I know everybody that loves Gears 2 remembers Gears 2 at the end of it was amazing.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, maybe that does help me stay fairly level-headed and, like, pretty cool with a lot of the things that are happening with, like, Gears 4 and Gears 5 and stuff like that. Because I'm like, man, I've seen Gears do this, like, this is round number 4. I'm fine with this. Like, the game comes out, or like the beta. I remember the beta for Gears 3 being nuts. I remember Gears 2 was like a hot mess of like technical issues, lags.
Yep.
Insert clips from Trooper's video, Where is the Fun, of him ranting super hard about how Gears 2 wasn't fun. Like, it was bad at first, and then by the end of it, I was playing 16-hour days of Gears 2. Like,
Gears. Now, I don't know if I have you beat, but get this. When I was in Gears 2, there's like a phase where I was skipping school, or whatever, to play Gears. But what is it? What did I call it? It was so I. When I was 17 in 2009, I went on a 72-hour, I referred to it at the time as a get-bodied extravaganza. so 3, like, I'm not even talking about like 3 days on and off. I mean, I may have eaten or whatever, but like no sleep for 72 hours straight. I played Gears multiplayer.
Okay, yeah, you win.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's got that beat. I can't do anything like that now.
Oh, no.
But just for I just got so many more responsibilities now. But like back then, when I have to pay for shit, it's just kind of like that was the time to do it. So I got that out of my system. But yeah, that was I don't know if it was planned beforehand, but I was addicted.
Right.
It's like it was just that fun. Even though I didn't like the whole host thing, it was just that enjoyable. And I also wanted to get good at multiplayer at that time. Now I don't care, but at Gears 2, Gears 2, I really want to be good at multiplayer. But
I always wanted those montages. But then again, I knew I wouldn't, like, you're like, I don't know if you'll be able to beat me. And I'm like, considering whenever, like, the way that I met you was I made that tier list, and then you were the only person that made another tier list, just like, these are my opinions on Escape. And I was driving in my car, and you should probably never watch YouTube videos and drive, but somebody said they made a tier list, so I just pulled it up immediately. And you're like, I have 80 days recorded in Escape. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, 80 times 24 is, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's way more hours. And that was like, that was in February, March, and I'm like base level 16 maybe on all my classes at that point. That's coming back from the year of hiatus. I wasn't there for the split of the classes and stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, he has a lot more experience. Yeah, you should probably listen to him. Like, yeah, I was like, I don't think I'm beating him in any time or experience in Gears.
I even like, what is it? When I say that, I was trying to give myself some, I don't know, credibility, if that makes sense. But when I said it, I was like, good God, that's a shitload. But
it's a lot.
Yeah, it's hard to be like, I don't even know like what's the word, like proud of it. It's just like, wow, that is so much time.
Right.
And probably over half of it is probably like, dedicated to solo runs, knowing me. But I haven't really like checked or whatever, but I know about 10 days of it's dedicated to one solo run, so I couldn't speak for the specifically for, but yeah, it's
and
anyway.
Then I started like when I started getting into Masters runs, so like when we first beat Gatekeepers on Master, I'm like, yes, we finally got it. Let's check our records, and it's like top 2% or something like that. Just the general thing, and I go through my friends list, and I'm like, hey, yeah, so where's their well, how the hell?
well, if you're talking about like total runs or like the time,
it was
stuff.
The time stuff.
Okay, yeah,
like negative 2 hours borderline.
Yeah,
like they're like the second place person is like an hour shyer in time on my friends list. I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah, that I saw that 2 hour run. I was like, I don't think relative to how they scored then, I don't think it gets much better than that. I think that was
Okay.
as far as like RNG, some of the glitches they did.
It's like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's not like how to explain this. It's not just as simple as kill everything. There's different enemies are worth different. It's really boring.
Yeah.
But it's like different enemies are worth different amounts. So it's like you have to keep restarting if you get the wrong RNG. But
It's like that.
you know,
Okay.
but I mean, obviously there's skill involved, but you have to actually know what like you have to actually like know how to get the score. If you're like really good but don't know like okay, like as an example, a salvo scion's worth more than a mulcher scion. If you don't know that, it doesn't and you know, let's say you're equal skill to somebody else, the person that knows that will beat you and be, you know, higher quote unquote on the leaderboards.
I
But
mean, yeah, I do that. Yeah, I mean, duh. Like, of
well,
course.
obviously, or like for instance, for time reduction, I don't know what it is now because I think things have changed or whatever. But at the time, like so you know, on the gatekeepers, and we're kind of getting on a little bit of a tangent here,
Yes,
so I
sir.
won't go too far. But anyway, so like so you get the matriarch with a snatcher, right? So that's like
Right.
how the second act starts. Um, the matriarch is like worth like -5 minutes versus like the snatcher. I'm trying to go off memory here. Is like closer to like a minute and a half or 2 minutes
Ooh.
here or so. Yeah, so it's just like that is already just because of RNG. 3 minute gap roughly. Again, I'm going off memory.
God.
And then you got with that RNG, you get elite hunters versus elite
Yeah,
snipers.
that's
Every
right.
elite hunter is worth more, like on a 1-to-1 basis. An elite hunter is worth more than an elite sniper.
And
So,
how
and you
frustrating you
also
get through all of the first
yeah,
act and all of that shenanigan
and you get
to just
some
get
ridiculous
shafted.
RNG.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh
exactly.
man.
So a lot of people, I would say the overwhelming majority of people didn't like score runs for that alone. That it's like once they knew, they're like, wow, we could get like after the safe and we could theoretically get snatcher like 7 times in a row. And if we want to get like if we're competitive, we technically got to restart the whole thing.
Every single
And
time.
then if
Oh.
and if you do that, see, gatekeeper's probably the worst because there's like so many different sets of RNG. But anyway, bad memories as far as like that's concerned.
I didn't know all of this dark understory, and now I think I'm learning more
Yeah,
than you were supposed to learn.
there's a there's a lot to it that if you weren't involved in it, you probably dodged the bullet. But once
Yeah.
you got involved, once you got involved in it, it was hard to not be involved in it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, at
So,
least that's reassurance.
but
I'm like,
yeah,
because like I had a few people ask like, when are you gonna start doing escape? I'm like, whenever I feel like I'm good. like, like, and then I kept looking at the scores. I'm like, well, there's a lot I gotta learn to get to that score. And then just time went on. I'm like, okay, I got it. There's too many ideas for horde that I gotta get to. So
yeah.
I'll just let everybody else get escape. That's good. I'll get on it for Gear 6. They better bring it back for Gear 6.
Mm, uh,
I'll start
uh,
throwing. I'll start pitching out a lot of voices and ideas. So they.
the people I know, which I guess may be a severe minority, like the people that are like your channel, my channel, and then like you know other YouTubers. I don't really know. I don't really know a lot of people that don't like Escape. Like
Yeah,
you know the people that like I thought anyone that's in PVE liked it, and like the people that may not like it may be like PvP players, which I mean like I guess they're I don't know why their opinion would matter
right.
as far as that context, but you know
I noticed like
I
I noticed more
go ahead.
PvP people liking Escape over Horde because it was more of that offensive vibe to it.
Yes, it's way more offensive. Yeah.
I fell in love with it, and I'm still run a high from it because like I think I put out like one feedback video. It might have been like two feedback videos or something like that before Gears 5 came out of like this is what I want to see.
Mhm.
And I was like, check out this co-op from if you've ever played the Uncharted series on PlayStation. Clearly Uncharted copied Gears. It's straightforward. But one thing, like they started doing multiplayer and they brought in a co-op instead of they did like a 10 waves kinda ish horde, but with objectives in it. Kind of like the closest
Yeah.
thing would be like Gears 4 horde, with those bonus
Mhm.
objectives. But then they had in co-op missions was like, all right, you're running through a section of the campaign map, but with a bunch of more enemies thrown in. They throw in a lot more difficulty. The different weapon and ammo, like weapon limitations and stuff like that. It was very much
Right.
it. Like I was like, yo, check this out. Imagine if they brought something like that to Gears, and then Escape happened. I'm like, holy shit, was I involved in that? Like,
You're a
like,
prophet.
was that me? Like I was freaking out because I'm like it's uncanny how similar it is. Other than like there was no in Uncharted, there's no like venom and like the time limit type
Yeah.
of thing. It was just kind of hey live. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
but like I love Escape because it's like I like Horde because it's the make a plan, build a base, and defend. Whereas going into Escape is go in, run, go, like it's much more offensive versus that defensive style. I love it, but
Yeah.
I've totally seen what you say too. Where like I've had a lot of people that are like, I just don't, I'm not crazy about Escape. I just like playing Horde. And I'm like, wait, really? Huh?
Like how?
Like,
I mean,
you know, I get it. Like, it definitely there is that divide, that difference in play style, and sometimes you just don't feel like picking up a hammer burst or an enforcer. Um,
yeah. I guess if you're in some context, depending on the maps, you could, like, there's like a what is it? I think a key complaint is ammo restriction, but there's classes that can like, you know, what is it? Help out with
Yeah,
some of those complaints,
this is
like
this is
but
when I started falling in love with what you call it, with demos. A good kill.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a very underrated card. It might be there. I've used it for score runs on a lot of maps because of the fact that we would have like a marksman and a fuck is it veteran.
Hmm.
They would need because headshots gives you more points or whatever. But making sure we had enough ammo, like on a map like Melee Brawl, where
Oh
there's
yeah,
like very limited anything. Unless
just
so,
like
like it's basically, yeah, it's like it's really a map that's made for like Lonnie. I
yeah,
can't even say anything else. It's really just made for Blade Master. If any other class does it, it's virtually a miracle. But
maybe protector,
uh,
but
maybe. But yeah, so yeah, so that good kill. I think Blade Master has like the something similar where you get what is it, ammo pouch drop off
oh
of
yeah, from the
executions.
efficient executioner. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah. I couldn't remember. 'Cause
I've
I
never
don't think
used the
I've ever
card,
used
but
it.
like
Yeah,
I
but
just looked at it the other day because I'm like, can I make anything out of this card? Like, there's got to be like a build. And it's like, nah, it's one of those. It's like parting gift on robotics expert. It's just there.
yeah.
It kind of just sucks. it's
Yeah, I mean,
it's there.
it works.
Yeah,
It works, but like, what are you going to take off? Venom Blade? You know what I
yeah,
mean?
right,
That's
right,
just,
right.
it's like, but
Like, can't really
anyway.
substitute it. Oh gosh, sure. That just makes me think with ammo. We finally got comfortable enough to do the end on Master. Us
Yeah.
taking off the alt duration was like the main thing because like we would bank on a resupply and event like all right,
Mhm.
let's throw on the alt duration, let's do this, and it's just whenever your alt to resupply ammo is just a little like a fart of ammo. It's just a little
Yeah.
poof, and then it's gone. I'm like, oh, what the hell was that? I got one.
Yeah,
I got
it's
one long shot bullet. This is
yeah,
awful.
exactly. When they buffed for the end specifically, or really any map that has like the alt short alt,
Yeah.
Ice Queen, the Link, and I think the end. I don't think there's any others, but well, at the time you only got like a few salvo, even if you had duration on. But
Oh yeah.
now they buffed that card, and now it fills up pretty quickly. I think it fills you up almost all the way from zero. So,
Right. It's like the
but
salvo and the torque bow are just like bring, and you just almost you
yeah,
get your ammo back instant.
yeah, it's so much better than what it used to be. Like it used to be unplayable for the most part if you didn't run duration on Master Escape
Oh man.
before they buffed it. I don't know if they buffed it in Op 4 or 5, I can't remember, but one of those they buffed a lot of Keegan's cards.
Nice, nice.
But let's see. So when I first started, like when I first noticed, like I don't think I commented or anything, but when I first noticed your channel, that was I had like maybe 10 to 15 subs,
Hmm.
and I was still kind of like first of all, if you're watching and you are still subbed from then, thank you. I appreciate that. You gave me some confidence at that time. But anyway, long story short, I found it more or less encouraging, the fact that, because the first video, or one of the first videos I saw of yours is, now I'll never forget this, like it was Foz on Icebound.
Oh god.
And I think it was like advanced or experienced or whatever. See, at the time
it was like it was like launch week, and us trying to figure out, just like, okay, we have no idea what the hell's going on, so like all of our cards are level 1, and I'm like,
yeah,
I was, well, one, I was in a job that was taking away my whole soul, but then two, I was
we're actually going to talk about some of that.
That's a different story.
Yeah,
but like, I'm like, just make anything, just make freaking any content. It's new, it's brand new. Just like literally get a match with Jack in, beat it with Jack. What do I gotta do? Just live. Just go and post it, which grossed me. It, like, thank goodness I came back with the freaking tier list, because like my most viewed video on my channel for a long time was beginner on Exhibit Jack. I'm like, man, like, couldn't be the
Doesn't it got like 13,000 or something like that?
Something like that.
13, yeah, I saw that too.
I was like, it couldn't be the speed runs for like for Gears 4 on Incon, like War Machine, or it couldn't be like a great feat. Not just Jack, just jacking it.
Yeah, it's funny, the way you talk actually sounds like me. I was actually talking to my wife about this. I was thinking like my highest viewed solo or video period is some solo that I haven't even rewatched, like, myself. Like, and I like rewatch my stuff to like learn from it, or if I think it's like, you know, pretty cool or whatever. But like, it's a solo. I kind of like roll my eyes. I'm like, why is this so? Why is this viewed? Why is this viewed?
Why is it always the cringiest video?
Yeah, like, why is this got like 5,500 and like this one I really like's got like 700? So it's just like, you know. But I guess. And she was telling me like, it's all your channel anyway, who cares? And I'm just like, okay. But
I try and
still
keep
bugs
that.
me.
Yeah, I try and keep that mindset. But, it's tough sometimes. Yeah. Like well, I'm coming off of 2 videos back to back. One posted Friday, one posted today. The video I posted Friday, and actually I see Super Potato in your chat, and he was the one that was my combat medic for a Nomad using the GL. And that video is doing really well for like me taking a break and coming back. I'm like, oh, thank God, my videos are doing well again. And then my next video is like, I knew it was one that was going to be kind of boring. It's boring-ish. It's me doing a hammer burst build on Tactician. So I'm like, that's less exciting. And I'm like I'm coming off of that, and I'm like, just trying to get my head around, like, you know, I still gotta amp it up and, you know, post it and be excited about it and be happy it's done. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, man, it doesn't feel good knowing that I'm coming off of one really good video to go into a video that's like, it's alright.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you go from eating a fine steak to like Hamburger Helper, and you're like,
It's just like, for me, I actually have, and I'll probably make a playlist one of these days, but I have videos that I either didn't upload, and there's some of them are solos that I didn't upload because I didn't think they were good enough, or like I didn't like how I won or something like that, and I would like kind of critique them to death, and I to the point where I didn't even want to look at them anymore. So like sometimes I would have to redo it in a way like, okay, that was a little luckier than I would like, and this map's easy, let's make it better. So like sometimes I did that, you know, but you know, it's just I think that's just part of just like, you know, I think, and it sounds like you're probably something similar, which is like, I think we are our own worst critics. I don't think anyone on this planet can say anything worse than we can say to ourselves.
That's very true.
So yeah, so it's just like, man, you were really trash here. You missed like 5 headshots in a row. Sell your disc.
Marksman,
you know, so it's just
Marksman videos are the worst. Like, thankfully my last Marksman video, that might have been one of my best ones I've done, period. But like before that, it's always like, man, I was a complete idiot trying to shoot like these juvies on wave 1, and I'm missing everything, and I just feel stupid. Let me just try it again.
Yeah.
What's at least been my like, it's been my rock is like, you know, this can pass as a video, but let's just try and do it a little bit better. And I come back in and just try it one more time with that as an excuse, and then it ends up panning out. The video that just went up today was one. Oh, and that was also after I had an incredibly good run with it. Everything went smoothly. I was playing like a champion. Little did we got back into the menu after the match and like, damn, that was really good.
Uh-oh.
And we noticed that it was on Incon. Like,
I thought you were gonna say like you weren't recording or something.
no,
Okay.
I'm good at that happens. It was just like it just wasn't on Incon because like I think we just were switching up map difficulties and they say like, you know, Gears 5 saves your last like place difficulty.
Yeah.
And nobody caught it. Like nobody in stream. I didn't. It was like, oh no. Well, do we put up an Incon? Like, well, why would it be Incon? No, that's stupid. Just
once you do master, it's just like
you can't go back.
It's almost like it's like you can't go back. Yeah, you don't even have the option.
Yeah,
really.
Then you just look dumb. Although escape still brings out a couple Incons here and there. Whenever it's just like, man, we're not feeling it. I'm trying to think of which one we did. Like which one beat the crap out of us recently. It might have just been the end, and I think we were trying to bring somebody in that really hasn't done the end that much, and it was just tough. Whenever you don't know the score of like, all right, how the end room goes, and like we have our own very specific way.
Wait, you're playing it for time?
Well, no, we were just doing it for
that's rough.
Survival.
Okay. It's still not an easy map. It's not one of those gimme maps where it's just like, because there's still shielded enemies, especially if you don't come in with a Blade Master or something like that, where that Moltres Scion and or Salvo Scion, well, I guess it'd be or Salvo Scion will destroy you if you're not, you know, if you don't kill it, obviously. But the end is up there, like where it's just like it's no shame in taking a few L's on the end, the split. You know, you know, those are all. The Surge is another one.
Oh,
I'm sure I'm missing
a
few.
Or wait, is it the Surge that gets me or the Blight? I think the Blight is cursed for me. I struggled with that for
the Blight's the Blight was like did you do it when the doors were they shut? Well, no, that's not it. Like when the paths were random every time you started?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because like in Operation, one of them, I don't even know. There's so many at this point. Well, but one of them, it's like they had like the same doors open or the same doors closed. I forget. So it's basically like you could open the doors. That's what it was.
Oh,
you could open the doors.
Oh God, that's nice.
Yeah, so it was really easy because you could do the exact same thing every time theoretically, but when it's correct, it's extremely hard.
Right.
It's not easy at all. So like, because there's some paths, like, you know, back in old Iron Man, there's a situation where you have to deal with the Moltres Scion that's shielded. Mm-hmm. So it's just like in certain operations, you didn't even have to do that. You could completely go on the left side and just deal with the drop shot Scion.
Right.
Which is far, far easier an escape than, unless he's just, you know, no scope headshotting you across the map, obviously. But in most situations, the Moltres Scion is probably the worst one of the 4 or 5 or whatever it is, maybe even 6. But
you know, I kind of got a silly question while I'm just thinking about it though. Okay, like so if you were to pick like 3 classes, you generally like a nice comfort composition for the end, because I'm like we've been going Demo, Tac, Nomad as like our religious 3, but then you're like Blade Master, and I'm like, you know what? A Blade Master one probably would be a decent idea.
What is it? Nomad is probably by far the strongest for that map. It's just like the fear ability for that map specifically.
It's a godsend.
So Nomad I'd probably say is the strongest. I wouldn't run Demo unless I was just trying to have fun. I just want to blow stuff up, like interrogation style or whatever.
Hey.
That's
the secret.
Yeah, I mean that's if you're gonna do a Demo Tac thing, that's basically what you're doing. And the Tac, I don't even know what runs Shredder. I think you'd run a bunch of cards to help Demo get his ult and whatever. But sorry, I'm expounding too much.
It's
so
okay.
Nomad, Blade Master, and I'd probably say Infiltrator.
There are a fair amount of shotguns around.
I would say because you get Overkill or Nasher regardless. I think those are the top 3. Because if you do Demo or Tac, you have to take time to go to. Maybe you're getting GL, maybe you're getting Boom and Drop and Salvo. It just makes the map just tedious, you know.
Which we literally run through every door every single time.
Oh my gosh. I only did that for score.
I guess we just hate ourselves is what I'm gathering.
sure sounds like it. But yeah, Blade Master and Nomad are are easily the top 2 for it.
Oh,
like,
shit.
And then Infiltrator's third. Yeah, not the explosive characters I think the explosive characters are just make it more tedious than it needs to be.
Yeah, and then the Venom Blade would like the Venom really kicks in well on that. Oh my god.
If you use Shock Chain on the end, it's really nice.
Yeah, Shock Chain would be great. You get your Thrill of the Hunt Blade Dancer probably. Just go straight up hardcore knifing.
You could Blade Dancer. Like I would do short because there's elite drones. Any map that has elite drones, which I think is all of them, or at least 90% of them.
Yeah.
What is it? I'll always go short range.
Okay.
Short range, Venom Blade, Venom Resistance, Thrill the Hunt, and Shock Chain. I pretty much do that for all the maps. The only difference is the line where I don't have short range on. I meant run Brawler. But the thing about, just in case you don't know this, with short alt modifiers, there's like this residual effect when the alt is over. So how to explain it? So like if you're in your ult, it's like 2 seconds. It's super fast. So you may do a couple swipes on the salvo scion and then run away, and your ult is quote unquote over. But the thing is, you're still getting the benefits from that ultimate after it ends. All the stuff after it ends, the enemies are actually still getting hit by the bleed damage. I think it's 5 seconds.
Right, and if it's spread to like six or 7 enemies or whatever the max is.
It is not beyond reason to get your ult immediately back. So even if it's it's insane. Even if your ult is short per se, you're going to get it. So like because I've sold it a few times as Blade Master, I've gotten it like 4 times in that short. And there's been times where like I would get it almost instantly. Like I shock chain like a salvo sign and like 4 pouncers that were all nearby in an elite drone, and then like they don't die in your ultimate, they die after it's over, which helps you get it in, get it again.
Better.
It's so
oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you ever do the end again, definitely run Nomad.
I'll be doing the end again. It's gonna come back. Yeah, like
Nomad, Blade Master, and Infiltrator.
This is also kind of like what this is why I'm also really glad Gears 4 into Gears 5 have like gotten these extra RPG elements, because like this is the stuff that I would like love finding out if I was playing a game like Guild Wars. Is like someone just comes at me with a completely different idea than what I think of, and then like they show it and I'm like, oh holy shit, that's incredible. Like it's just like my pants get loaded and I'm like, wow, really? Like, and like this is another one of those moments where I'm like, oh no way, that's so obvious, but at the same time that's brilliant. Like
I've had a few where I'm like, why didn't I think of that? Like
but or more recently, or when it was whenever Boss Rush came out, Ninja Demon Hunter was in chat. I don't know if he's still in chat, but he was talking about the benefits of discipline. I'm like, I'll try this card, but I don't think it's gonna be that good. Insert the narrator going, like, it was that good. And I'm like, oh my god, this card is crazy. I've been letting this thing sit at level 3 for like 10 months now. What the hell?
Discipline's probably Tactician's best card.
So good.
But yeah, it's.
I know. I know now.
Yeah. Honestly, if I think about it, it might be, as far as like individual cards, it might be in the top 5.
Yeah.
I think number 1 is Execution Shield.
True. It's a lifesaver.
But anything else you could probably swing around as far as what you think is the best individual card.
I'm like, did I have an idea? Like, I think I remember saying this card is the best card ever for something. Discipline's up there. I can't remember. I'd have to think about it.
There's a lot of damage resistance cards I like. Like Rear Armor's up there because I don't know if you know this, but like when Pilot equips Rear Armor, it's out of all the classes, and that includes Anchor, that includes Blade Master. It lasts the longest if you just sit in Venom.
Oh.
I don't know if you knew that.
I did not,
because it reads as damage from behind, but.
No way.
Since the venom's like around you, it works for that as well. So, and there's been few times where like for instance, a Scion would charge me and then I would turn around, and I get hit by the Scion. I'd take like minimal damage. And then there's been a few times while running away from juvies and I would get hit. I got hit 3 times by a juvie and didn't go down.
Okay,
that's actually
try this
that's
out.
actually in. It's actually in one of my solo runs. I was Dom Pilot on Ice Queen.
Ice Queen.
And
Okay.
I got hit by Juby 3 times. It was actually a bad sequence for me. Disregard that part of it. But the positive is, I survived. Something that I don't think any other class would have survived.
Dang,
getting hit.
I've never even thought about that. Dang, and that's that. There it is again. I'm like, okay, now I gotta try that out too, because that's.
Hey,
also, I apologize. This is a good moment to apologize to my friends. I've been doing a lot of pilot on just any, like, it doesn't matter what the hive is. Where I just need cards. I'm desperate to get cards because my pilots, it's getting there. Like, but like the last 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going and being like borderline worthless as a pilot. Just if I get my ult, I'll be good. Like, the choke, I'm a-okay. But then I've been like just kind of being the slow horse in the back with, like, two of my friends have got, like, 30 kills apiece, and I've got 8, and I'm just like, whatever. I'll freeze the enemies for you. Don't worry. I'd like to formally apologize. Because rear armor would that would make me a really good tank. Then I imagine with, like, I could that get like healing explosives if we find a drop shot, or like aggressive. Yeah.
And rear armor extends to the silverback, so like you get more health. You get more health. Yeah. So there's a lot of benefits. I don't know.
Sorry, friends.
Mainstream. Yeah, I don't know how mainstream that is, but yeah, that's definitely a thing that's never been changed.
Yeah, and
so
that's cool.
Yeah, it's what is it with pilot? Like, typically, if I'm running pilot, since I really like to have my ult, like for escape specifically, I like to have my ult more often. I just lock the slot and only have one teammate. That way I can play more. But if you're yeah, because I don't know, back in the day. It used to be confusing where it was like it said 2 different things. It said, like, if you had one teammate, or if you had like 2 teammates, depending on where you looked at the description.
Yeah.
So for escape, it worked all the time, and technically when you had it on for horde, it was a glitch. It worked then too, but for escape, I thought it was going to be like, oh well, no matter what in escape, the ult will charge, but they kind of nerfed it to where it's like it only works if you have one teammate. So that's kind of
I gotcha.
But
fair enough.
But anywho, so yeah, I think most people like pilot more than I do. Like, I pretty much only like it for like solos or singles because of the wingman skill card.
I'm just a drop shot guy. That's all it is for me. Like, since Gears 4 made it the strongest weapon to ever have existed, and like Hammer of Dawn's pretty cool, but have you like drilled this thing into someone's head? Like when I pulled up old Gears 4 footage like for this video I'm editing, and I found so many clips of me just like from like on Glory or like some long range map. I'm like, let's see if I can hit this carrier from downtown. And just drop it, one shot it as a heavy, dead. I'm like, that's stupid. That's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, but you'll take it.
It made me
no
good.
Complaints.
Yeah. Yeah, right. It made me good with the drop shot. So then, like, anytime, like, I was slow to start playing as pilot, and then when I finally did, I'm like, all right, this card, the hammer looks pretty cool, and just like I just started going completely nuts with it. So that's why I like pilot. And then just if I want to get in a tank and just unload Hellfire with the bleeding mulcher, that's also pretty satisfying.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
I'm behind that.
What is it? One thing I noticed, like, when I watch your streams, it's like it's pretty different than my streams. Depending on who you ask, like, from my perspective, this could be like, talking about myself, this could be like a good or bad quality, but I know I can get pretty intense because I really hate losing, and I like to beat things that are very, really hard. So like there's been times where like I'll just like shut off a stream mid sentence because I'm so pissed off of what just occurred.
I've been there.
So so it's just like, but it's like I've noticed from your streams, it's like you're super social with everyone. I'm like, man, this guy's like super nice. Like I was, cause like I do like Lyft or whatever, and like I got a notification that I saw that you started a stream, or you were in the middle of the stream. I forget exactly what it said, and then I was like, Cherry's the GOAT, and then like I was like, I didn't expect a response from you. I was just like, I'm just gonna say this because he's awesome, and I think he's a good dude.
Like,
And then like you're like, no, you're the goat, and I, bro, I was smiling so
well,
big. Like,
so let me cue you in on what my perspective is. Is like I feel like I don't trade off being social because I think that's part of like what's helped build my streaming community, and like I'm always gonna keep to that. At the same time, I'm aware of the cost of not being able to hardcore focus in on the game because I split my eyes a little bit to look at chat and I interact with chat, and I've watched it kill the whole team. Many times because like I'm just not paying attention. There's gonna
well, now they know.
there's gonna be a good end of a video coming soon. By the way, I'm just saying. I'm not giving any other hints, but that's all. That's all I got. But and like I'm like, man, what can I do to be better at this game? And then I get a notification on my phone, soloing horde boss rush as striker, and I'm like, what the hell, man? What the hell? Like, and then which given that I watched it, and that led to me making like 3 other videos because I'm like, oh, holy shit, the Scorcher build, or like, oh, using the GL swap, and I'm like, oh man, that's mind blowing. But I'm just like, I see that as soon as and I'm like, I'm like, that's borderline as much as like, I'm very happy how well you play, and we've got our own unique angles. I'm like, man, part of that feels like you pulled my pants down. I'm like, oh man, no way. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm a god with a sniper. I can play with 4 other people, and I can get these shots because they're distracting the enemies. And it's like, yeah, let me just, or I think you said you're gonna start trying to solo a 1 through 50, or you might attempt it. And I'm
I'm thinking about it.
I look at that and I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, I thought about doing solo runs in Gears 4. If like I was like, if I ever run out of stuff, I'll start like trying to do like we'll take it down to 4 people, then take it down to 3, take it down to 2, take it down to 1. And the more I like would start trying to suggest that, the more I'm like, man, I don't think I can go through this. And then I watch you go through it like at least it looks brutal. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, he does make it look really fun though.
There's a certain level of like I think you touched on it basically, where it's like for the solo run specifically, like for instance, I don't know if you've seen the paddock on the end. That's like my channel trailer. It's kind of like my, as far as like solo runs, it's like my individual gold standard. I don't know if I can ever top that, but that's like my favorite video. And I don't know, for as long as I'm a YouTuber, I don't know if I'll ever change it, to be totally honest. Because I knew I was probably, now it wasn't like, how I told you I played for 72 hours straight, but I was focused on that alone as far as I'd log in, try to solo it, get screwed over, or lose legit. I'm not going to act like I was always getting screwed over, but like, a little bit of both. Or I guess in this case, a lot of both. I was working on that exclusively for 10 days. I didn't do anything else. They released the Gatekeepers. I was like, well, I can't do it. I got to get this done.
Focused on
and then what is it? I think during that time, I only talked to one of my friends that whole time. I don't even know if I was uploading other stuff during that time. I don't even remember. But I was locked in because once I get an idea, like it has to like feel impossible or actually be impossible for me to like, okay, this is not going to work out. But if I lose on the helipad, that's okay. No, that means
it's
I
a
can
bit
do
more
it,
chance then, yeah.
Yeah, it means it's doable, and I just need a couple lucky breaks here and there or whatever. So it's just like, but yeah, I just talked to one of my friends and I told him what I was doing. He's like, he would check in. He was super supportive during that process. He's like, hey, you okay, man? Hey, you okay? Like that's all. Right. That was the only dialogue I was having for 10 days as far as a gaming perspective. So
that's intense.
That's like, but that's one side of solo runs. Do all of them take 10 days? Absolutely not. But there's a few that are multi-day ones, like, I had Clayton on the split, took multiple days, not as much as the end, no, but yeah, there's a few multi-day ones. That's the side of it where it's just like, if you're kind of a more social person, it may not work, because it'll probably drive you crazy to be just by yourself, complaining to yourself, essentially by yourself. It's almost like you're in, you may not be like in a literal box per se, but that's what it's similar to, where it's just like it's just me and my controller, and we're gonna get this done, and that's what it's gonna be.
Right.
And I'll talk to my friends next week.
Or or like
So
there's like the fault that I notice I have where like because I'm talking to the chat, I can't talk in game. Like I can't balance the two. I've tried like several times over the last like how long have I been making videos? 2018. So like 3 years I've been doing this and I just like cannot split it because I'll want to ramble to the chat like I do, but then like to just have a quick comment, like I eventually might do like I think a trooper actually led me on to just getting a hotkey foot pedal. Like, so you're basically a guitarist on during your live streams. I'm like, that might work. Or it's just push to talk, and I use my foot just to be like, I'm down. Uh, because like otherwise, I notice how like I feel like the end is the perfect example, especially since like most of us in the late night we do that demo nomad tack run where we it's so much communication and we're like shouting. It's like, you know, when you're in the zone with a good team, like and I noticed that with a lot of the people that play boss rush with you as well, as those good comms whenever things get hot and sweaty.
yeah, yeah, which is often
like on stream I just sadly can't pull that off, and so like I've noticed that cost me a lot too, where I'm just like I'm down, but like maybe they don't hear me because I'm on stream. Maybe they can't hold the stream up at the same time they're playing Gears. And at the end of the day, like, am I just gonna sit there and desperately type it and stuff? Like, there's that barrier to it that ends up being a pain in the neck.
I think some of my, I don't know this for a fact. I think some of them, like as people I play with, I think they have it open sometimes. But if I don't know exactly how it works. Like today we won like 6 matches of boss rush in a row, which is like I don't know if I've ever done that, honestly. So it was pretty sweet.
Pretty
Someone
good.
mentioned it. Someone jinxed it and said like, oh, if we win this one, we would have run 7 in a row. And then like once I realized it, you know, it like we lost on like wave 9 or 10 or something like that. So if they didn't say that, we probably would have won. But I digress. It's just one of those things where I don't know if I'm not in a party specifically, I don't know if they hear me like through game chat necessarily.
Yeah.
Or if they hear me through Twitch. I've actually never even asked them because sometimes I'm not in a party with people because we've kind of gotten like a system down. So sometimes it's not necessary. But
like you know, everybody knows their role. Like where they're just they're doing what they do. They know how you're gonna do it. You know how they're gonna do it. I get that.
Now for me, a party's like for 1 through 50s, a party's almost required. So because like I'm like, as far if I were to put it like on a 100% scale, I'm probably checked in about like 12% for 1 through 50. So like I need to be talking about something else, you know, because that's what ends up happening for 1 through 50s, where I'm not really even thinking about what's going on. It's just not. What is it? I guess it's just not. I don't know. Intense is the right word.
You like zonk out because it's just all right. Shoot at that juvie. Shoot at that sire. Shoot at that. Oh wow, there's a matriarch. Okay, all right, got it.
Yeah, it's one matriarch, and it's just like
one matriarch.
Yeah, it's like okay, great. Like I actually still don't have all. I don't know if you do. I don't have all the horde maps completed for 1 through 50 or Frenzy. Do you?
So it's a funny story about that. I out of all the maps that I have mastered 1 through 50 on master in Gears 5, I have none of them. I came back and I think that was one of the main factors that got me back into Gears 5, because I was gonna go do variety. I have a different channel that I'm gonna go back to, like as we're all kind of like seeing as Gears 5's life cycle is what it is. Like I'm gonna go back to this channel because I really like the idea, but like I was like, all right, let's play Hive Busters, let's see what it's about. And somebody told me to play a horde, and they're like, do you want to play Horde Frenzy? I'm like, oh, so they got Horde Frenzy? Well, like I knew Horde Frenzy from Gears 4. I'm like, oh, they got Frenzy now?
Oh,
okay,
that's right.
All right, and they got a combat medic? Okay. And they separated out the classes so I can play as Ty. Right on. Okay. And like the fact that it was Frenzy, I think, was the key thing, because like launch Gears 5, streaming that, and it was Horde, just streaming Horde was a nightmare. Like it was 15 people wanting to join in a game, and I've got time for 2 matches. Like
I heard your video talk about that.
Yeah. and like it pulled my hair. It was hair pulling too because I just didn't have enough time to play. Also, me being shout out to, that's where I don't know who came up with the idea to have dailies in for bonus rewards and stuff, but that really helps.
That was a good idea.
Yeah, that
sure.
was such a good call because I in Gears 4 I was stupid guilty of it, and in Gears at the start of Gears 5 I was guilty of it, is where I just didn't play when I wasn't streaming because I'm like, yeah, I don't want to get burnt out, save my time, do all that. And then whenever I came back, we had the dailies, so like I would say maybe I've missed 3 or 4 days since January 2nd of 2021 of the dailies, and that's been about it. Like every night we get on and just to get the grind going and just get it. And then thankfully we have Horde Frenzy now, so it's not, hey, let's every night do a 1 through 50.
Right.
And just slog through that. That was, I think Horde Frenzy was one of the biggest saving graces of the game. And then shout outs to them for also like boss rush being 10 waves. Predator Hunt being 10 waves. I was like, I swear, if I just mention one mode. There's Kadar 10 waves, I think, right? Yeah, it's 10.
Yes.
And then it's
yes,
Jingle Juvies is 25, Horde Mania is 25, and
Jingle Juvies is
20. That's
if I'm
right.
not mistaken.
There's the ones that are 12 and 12, 10, and then the ones that are more than that.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, I haven't done. Yeah, I did Horde Mania when it first was released, and I actually liked it.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it on Master since because I just like boss rush so much.
Right.
But,
I don't blame you because it's a thrill. It's so intense.
Oh my gosh, it's just like yeah, exactly. It's a sweat fest.
Wait,
at least it definitely can be.
Did you play boss rush in Gears 4 by chance?
I didn't. This is my first Horde.
Okay.
I didn't play PVE until this
I was
one.
like, I could have sworn I remember you saying
that much.
Okay.
Nah, like a few people have recommended that, but I've talked to some of my friends list that people I play with or whatever, and they say this is the best Horde.
I'm in
if someone said Gears 4 Horde's way better, then I would try it. But it seems like the general consensus is kind of like, why do that when this is better?
It's a little bit different. Like the only thing I could make an excuse for is like, all right, if you wanted to go back to play certain maps, like I think me and a friend of mine were talking. We miss Hotel at the moment. Just miss that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that map. Just like, oh yeah, that was like an easy peasy map too. Like wait, what's the Gears 5 equivalent to that? I don't know. I feel like Exhibit's pretty darn easy. Maybe like that, or Forge. Forge. Yeah, that's like where you like, okay, all you got to do is build up top, or build and spawn. You'll have an easy time.
Forge. I'm trying to think what would be like.
Cakewalk.
You talking about just off the difficulty? I don't know what would be the easiest.
Overload is probably the easiest through and through.
I can't stand that map.
I'm so bored of it. Well, it was like I kept trying to avoid it making videos because I'm like, okay, I know it's an easy cop out. People use it to speed train and stuff like that. I'm like, so I don't want like, hey, we're gonna try this really hard build on the easiest map.
Yeah. People used to use the OP3 Marcus just to run through it in like 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood it personally because I thought no matter how you slice it, Master Escape is the best. But I mean, I don't know. I guess it's just to each his own. If whoever wants to get,
some people like their ways.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you want to do, I guess. I mean, I've done Ice Queen a bunch of times, so like, if you've done Overload 800 times, no judgment.
Right? Yeah. No judgment. But shoot, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, with Boss Rush, I will never forget, and that was one of the times that I realized that like they listen to some PvE folk. If you like, if you're not screaming at TC, they'll usually listen to you. Mm-hmm. They'll listen to you. And that one was to a fault, which was hilarious. So it was me. Like Boss Rush came out, it was me. If you ever watched Tatcom or his name's Chaps, I've seen them. A few of his videos. Him, and then someone that I met, and he started streaming. He doesn't stream much anymore. Grouch on Couch. I'm sure you've heard the name maybe in passing.
I believe so. Yeah.
Great at Horde. Him and his friends that he usually plays with are all incredibly good at the game. We came in as like Avengers Assemble type of thing, like Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America type vibes. And they started this out on hardcore difficulty, which I guess would be like insane difficulty for Gears 5.
Yeah.
And we crushed it. And like, TC Octus was in my stream, and we're like, yeah, we're having a pretty easy time with this. And then they said, all right, we're gonna bump it up to insane. And like a week later, we're getting completely just demolished, just absolutely eviscerated by it. They made sure that they kicked up the bosses. They made sure they kicked up the damage. And I'm like, oh no, I should have shut up and said we're having a hard time. They listened. They listened.
I wish they did that for this game,
right?
For Escape, if they like take it up a notch, for I guess some people or whatever, like add an 8th modifier to Escape. That'd be cool.
Part of me wonders if it's like we start hitting that threshold where it's like, okay, we just have max builds and we really know what we're doing. Like if they tried to throw other wrenches at us, because like I do watch where it destroys people that don't know what they're doing as well. Like,
yes,
we might be. I don't want to say we're not the privileged bunch because we worked our butts off to get to that difficulty, but like,
yep.
But like at the end of the day, we do have that benefit. It would be interesting if they could throw something that's like harder. Although that being said, Predator Hunt is kicking my butt. We have like we're scarred from it a little bit. We haven't done it in a couple months, but like we just kept trying to do it on Ritual. And like I'm sniping, like I'm trying to snipe like a madman. Now I'm trying to do a protector setup with it. It's a little rough.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I did it. I did it the time it came out. Predator Hunt. I forget. There's something special about Predator Hunt that I'm not remembering.
No
it's
fabricator.
Like, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I was like, what exactly? So like infiltrator, I think is the way you get no perks too, right? Is that right?
I think you get no perks, no fabricator, because there's no power.
Yeah.
It's just your cards, your ultimate, and the class.
Yeah. So like infiltrator, maybe the way to go.
What always kept getting us? The major enemies weren't the problem. It's poppers. It was always poppers. Because you get one, you blast it with a shotgun, and when you get shot by something, you flip over forward because that's physics. And then it blows up in your face, and your teammates were nearby. 3 of you go down, and hey, look, there's another popper.
Gears physics don't even get me started on that. It's atrocious, absolutely atrocious.
Hammerburst tack on Predator Hunt. Hammerburst tack could be possible. Potato said in chat, he's just, what about Hammerburst tack on Predator Hunt? Like maybe you'd have a lot of ammo. Maybe. You could keep the range down. You could probably get healing module going. I could see that being viable.
You could probably benefit from what is it? Probably JD's good kill. For ammo purposes.
That too.
So yeah, for sure. Yeah, because he would get a bunch of kills, just because of the class.
Right.
So yeah, that'd be super useful.
One of these days, I'll go back to it with a vengeance.
I don't know if I will, because the Wakatu is basically like for boss rush is basically like every wave starting at wave 2. Yeah. So it's like that is already a Predator Hunt in a way.
That's true.
So that's kind of how I see Predator Hunt, even though it is a different mode. But it's like for me, it may not. I may have like boss rush flashbacks or something like that. I've heard. I had a friend. I don't know if you know Snakey, but like he calls it what is it? He calls it like boss rush, so he calls it Predator Hunt 2.0 or something like that. So yeah,
fair.
Because it's just the Wakatu on maps that can get the Wakatu. It's always. And it's the hardest boss to deal with because it only has one death animation.
Right.
It
also does remind me that now every time I use a GL, I'm like, all right, I gotta play like Turnerburner plays. Don't mess up your reloads on. Like I'm the worst with GL grenade launchers, where I always hit the active reload, and then I jam my gun, and then I look like an idiot, and like, oh, hold on, Wakatu, don't move anywhere, please. Let me line this back up. Whenever you finish all of the boss rushes, and the last one was training grounds, I'm watching how you're rapid firing them. Like, all right, fire them like burner. Okay.
Burner. Note to self.
Yeah, just writing that on a notepad. Okay, look at how he's doing that. See if I can't do that about the same. Then that'll help out a lot.
Yeah, I really enjoy playing demo.
I can tell.
What is it? Yeah, I really like. I think most people don't, which works for me because I'll just play it all day. I don't, it is what it is. But because like I've heard like through other operations, like what it initially before I got into demo in Operation 2, like I was before that I was doing mechanic. I guess it was called Dell at the time, and then Kate, and I think I was Jack for a period of time. And I actually didn't want, at the time, ironically, compared to who I am now, I didn't want the pressure on boss waves. I was like, I mean, isn't that kind of ironic?
Right.
Where it's just like, now it's just like, that's all
Now
I
it's
want,
what you live
as
for.
far yeah. So like, I was like, oh, I'll stay this class because I really don't want the pressure that if the Kestrel doesn't die, then I know it's my fault, or if the Swarmak, whatever, like I just kind of talked myself out of it.
Right.
And then I just slowly got into it, and then there was almost like there was a phase where I played it exclusively for 8 weeks straight, and it was just like all my friends got rusty as JD because of the fact that I was only playing JD. So like when I switched to, I forget what I switched to after that. I can't remember right now. But whatever I switched to after that, someone was going to be, JD again. And like, man, like I can't hit anything right now.
Right.
Like, cause Turner's taking up all the time with the class.
When you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It doesn't take long to get like oh wow. Like I've heard people go like 2 days and they'll play like whatever game, and then they'll come back and be like, man, I can't active reload. Like what's going on? Is it lag? And you just like you're wondering like, did I really get that bad in 2 days? Like is it possible?
Although I don't know, there's something about me, and I've been trying to figure this out because I'm like, man, there's definitely a good like educational video in there somewhere. Is like the sniping of Gears has never left me. Like whenever I got obsessed with sniping in Gears 1, because like I remember I always tell people, I'm like, there was a video like Butter made back in the day. It was a sniping guide.
Oh,
and it was my Bible.
Oh, like Butter. Oh,
yeah.
I remember him.
I'm like
yeah.
that sniping video was my Bible back in the day. I'm like, all right, I got to memorize where people's heads are when they roll forward, to the side, to the backwards.
Yep.
Memorize where their head is when they're roadie running, to front, backwards, sides. And I can go away from Gears for years, like which I did. From Gears 3 to Ultimate, I streamed a little bit of Ultimate in like 2016ish times, I think. And I came back and the sniping was still there. It's just like that for some reason sniping for me is like riding a bike. Shotgun though, it ages like milk for me. It's terrible.
I guess that video left that much of an impression. Obviously, it was a good video.
Both. I wanted to be like one of those montage makers for a long time, and I made a couple.
We all did,
right?
We definitely all wanted to be like them. We all wanted to be Moo Moo Milk. From back in the day. We all wanted to be these guys.
Like Gold Glove. There was Trooper. There was a Fallen Tree. Always trigger happy.
Yep.
Like Butter was in there. Like what's cool is like that's what's fun about like I've mentioned Trooper a few times because now me and him like we talk pretty regularly, and I post him a good bit, and we talk a decent bit, and like dude, I like freaking worshiped you back in 2007, man. Like this is crazy.
Speaking of, that's funny you said that. It just come to my mind when bro. I don't think you like. When you said like, like on Twitter, you're like, the streamers I watch are Turnerburner, and then you said Landon like in the same breath. Right. I was like, what?
Well,
like
for one,
like I was like in the clouds. no one could find me. I was like, like I have arrived. Like that was like, I was like pacing, looking down, like what? I was just like, and then like on top of that, because first of all. I tell my wife, she gets excited. I get excited. We're both excited. And then, like, as I'm talking to her, I see, like, on Twitter, I don't know if things are different now, but, like, at the time, on Twitter, it said, like, Landon, blah, 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 is now following you. I was just like, okay, I can retire.
You've done it.
GG's. GG's.
Like,
thanks, guys. Right.
I mean, I was like, well, I gotta be honest. I'm like, who am I really, like, people were posting... Like, they're like, oh, yeah, the people I watch for Gears is, like, Gold Glove and stuff like that. I mean, man, Gold Glove's kind of on and off with Gears. He plays it occasionally and stuff. I'm like, well, who am I actually watching in this day and age, 2021, and, like, the year for our Lord?
Yeah.
Who am I watching? And I'm like, well, okay, I'm watching you. Holostrife joins in on my streams, and I keep watching a lot of his videos back because I get ideas bouncing off of him, and I think he probably does vice versa. I'm like, yeah, so, like, which is freaking awesome, by the way, like, in Gears 4 times, I really felt like it was just me, and I didn't, like, Commander CH might have been making videos, like, during the end of Gears 4's lifespan, its life cycle, but, like, I don't remember that many Horde people, so, like, I left for a year during Gears 5 because of life, and came back, and I'm like, oh shit, there's actually like there's creators, then they're regularly here. Like Turnerburner922 uploading a couple times a week. I'm like, yes, all right.
Yeah.
Like, all right, well, I gotta stick with the horde people for a little bit. And then, I mean, Landon and Shadows, I've watched them for years, and I think we all got acquainted during the Gears 4 times. Even though they play versus, and I don't play much versus anymore. It's like I can relate because I played versus for that long throughout the life cycle of the whole franchise. Like,
Right.
It might just be me talking about memories, and you know, a lot of them me being a dick. Because like I really cared in Gears 1. I wanted to be good in ranked. I was going for seriously, which God, that was a mess. I'll sidetrack harder on that later. Gears 2, Gears 2, I think because it came out in such a buggy state, that was one of the first times I thought a game was going to be like the second coming of Jesus, and then I was disappointed, which is obviously stupid. Because don't go into a game thinking it's going to be the most perfectest game ever. That's a real easy way to get disappointed. So like me being the angsty.
Go in thinking it's trash.
Yeah, or like at least with a grain of salt. Like, all right, if it's bad, I'm ready for it, And so like whenever me being the angsty, angry teenager that I was, I just stopped giving a crap altogether. Me and my buddy are me and my buddy going into matches, he's playing his guitar and I'm sitting there playing my PSP in a ranked match, and we're just sitting in the spawn on ruins, like we'll wait until our teammates die and then we'll go. Like we were just shitheads.
Oh man. I think everyone had those moments where they went, it's like, oh, that's a clip, anyway.
At least I can relate to the people that are like, the super angry people on Twitter that are always yelling at TC. I'm like, I get it, I was there. At the same point, I hope you just don't make the same mistakes I did. Because I'm like, I'm talking trash about the developers and stuff, and I'm like, man, I gotta stop this at some point.
Right. Yeah, it can really consume you at times. It's just like you want to be heard, you want like things to be fixed, and like I actually till this day I don't understand why certain things are the way they are.
Oh yeah.
I'm assuming I'll just have to assume that some of the things I'm requesting, like flashbangs working properly or consistently. Nice. I'm assuming that is a hard thing to fix.
Right.
I'm just going to assume it's either hard or impossible to fix, and then take the L or whatever, and not be shocked when That's why you end up adapting certain ways because you realize, okay, this works 60% of the time, so I'm gonna toss this, hide behind cover to make sure they're frost and then go. But I do that a lot where it's just like, and like now I'm not even phased though, where it's just I did what is it, Escape from Kadar solo recently.
Yeah, I saw that, which again I went, what the hell? What?
Did you see?
I haven't watched it yet. I need to sit down and
Well, the video I uploaded yesterday was actually a loss of Escape from Kadar. It's like 2 minutes. It was the very end, and the matriarch had if I would put a percentage note, it probably had 7 to 5% health or so. And something I figured out from failing that attempt is there's a limitation on how many times you can get hit with the spike. I thought you could get hit did you know that? I didn't know that. I found out 1 hour and 15 minutes into a solo run that you can only get hit. You can only get hit 2-3 times or something like that. So on the third time, instant death. And I'm just I when it comes down to solo runs, because I know how I can get, I don't record my mic because I know it could be colorful. We'll say it that way. So I was like, no, and I'm just fall on the floor, and I'm just that did not just happen. Because I'm thinking I'm looking at the matriarch because you have to kill 2 matriarchs in Escape from Kadar. So, and as anchor in the context of the map, it takes fucking forever. Wave 10 alone took 25 minutes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so to get to that point and then just take the L. But anyways, before that, I threw a flashbang. And I was like, this might work because it's the matriarch. It's probably not going to work, but we're going to toss it anyway, see what's up. And it did. So it's just like, it's just certain things where it's just like, the game will fix this, possibly, but they're likely not going to. And then hopefully you're okay with that,
Yeah.
in the long run. But
I guess I'm trying to think
anyway.
of like my perspective. Like it's weird because I never find myself getting mad if they don't do something. I said, I mean, I've mentioned party gift a couple of times, um, and just how who's using that, and I still haven't gotten any response. If this goes for anybody in any stream, any video that this appears in, if you have a good build for party gift, let me know. I will.
There's not enough cards to stack with
it's absolutely worthless.
Like none.
I tried. I sit there and like stare at the cards for robotics expert, and I'm like, there's got to be a way, and I just can't find it. But when it comes to like feedback for TC, like I've noticed a few things that like they really did end up changing. And it maybe it's like I don't want to get like too egocentric, and I try and like ground myself, but I'm like, man, that's uncanny. Was like there was escape, being in Gears 5. There was I mentioned a lot. Like I remember talking about Michael Shannon, and then Michael Shannon popped in the stream, and I'm like, oh god, I was like, oh no, I just wanted to talk behind your back. And like I kept mentioning.
Now that you're here, what's up? How you doing?
And like, so I'm like, all right, I don't heard that then. Like talking about the slugger. In particular, I remember saying like it'd be cool if it was like even like either a card or maybe even a perk, because then if it's a perk, you can free up the cards and do whatever you want with that. Like the boosting of the promotional classes, the slugger. And damn it, if it isn't the most uncanny thing, the amount of times I said I really missed Dawn, and then they brought Dawn back, and I'm like, okay. It's like I'm not like I go, boy, it might rain tomorrow, and then it just happens to rain tomorrow. Like maybe it's just a coincidence, but like, damn it, TC, you might be listening to me. And
right, they got your house tagged.
Right, they might. Like at the end of the day, though, like there's been a lot of things I know I've said that would be nice to have, and nothing came about it. But like, I think when I really realistically think that something can work in the game, I'll try and make feedback videos just talking about like, yo, how cool would this be? And like litter it in as many videos as I humanly can. All right, so we're doing this anchor video, and by the way, you should change the slugger. Like, oh, I have a party gift build. Party gift, score boost, epic score boost, explosive kill shot, and homebody. There you go.
Oh, did someone put one in the chat?
It's not a. Well, I mean, I'm down. I'm gonna be the idiot that tries it. I'm down. But yeah, it's like I guess for me, I'm just like, if I could give any advice to people for social media, and like maybe this is just TC, and maybe it doesn't work for other companies. I notice tenacity and positivity work well. At least, okay. Maybe, and again, it might just be my head, might just be my ego saying that, because like, it sure looks like some of the changes I mentioned are there. But like, I rarely actually talk trash about TC. Even everybody that points out problems in the game, so I'm like, oh yeah, I see it. I'm not a dummy. But like, right. I'm focusing on what I can do best for the game right now. What content am I going to make? And can I just keep talking about, like, in very excited ways, can I talk about things that I think would be really fun? And that seems to, I don't know, that seems to please the lords. Although we'll see.
Gods.
I mean, I don't know. There's not many of them that we know publicly left anymore. With Shawnee leaving, concerning. With Octus leaving, with now, as of right before this podcast started, Michael Shannon's leaving.
I don't know what to think of that.
Right.
Yeah, I saw when I saw that, and I'm like, wow, like right before the podcast starts, it kind of puts me in this mood. Yeah, it's just like, are you
I always think of, have you ever seen the the Hunger Games movies?
Yeah,
the second one, she's going up to go and like fight and like start competing in the Hunger Games, and she sees something very traumatic, and she's immediately upset as she's going in. I'm like, boy, that feels like this.
Yeah. No, what is Michael. Lenny Kravitz's character gets shot. You know what you're talking about? Yeah.
I didn't want to.
Yeah, it's
But
Yeah.
I was,
Oh, in case someone didn't see
yeah,
it. Sorry.
it's a decade old, anyways.
It's so old, yeah.
But I'm like,
But
that's exactly how I felt. I was like, all right, let's get ready, get in the mood to talk and converse, and then I see Michael Shannon's post. I'm like, oh shit, man.
yeah. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah. Well, I don't. Well, I guess we'll just have to. We'll just see how it plays out.
Yeah,
Really.
we'll see what the timeline looks like for Gears 6, because it really, like, boy, I am absolutely clueless on this one. I have no idea what's going to happen.
I assumed it'd be 2023.
Yeah,
That was like
I,
just a kind of a gut feeling,
I
but
kind of always kept with STX Shadows. He predicts 2023 to 2024 timeline. I'm like, I can see that. But man,
okay.
I know nobody that works there right now.
Yeah. Probably should just show up and just be like, hey, what's going
Yeah,
on?
be like,
Everything's
hey,
all
it's
right?
me. It's
Yeah.
or
But,
in our night Discord sessions, we keep thinking of ways that the community would really hate if the storyline of Gear 6 panned out. Just like basically that would really piss off the kids.
right.
And
Like, hey, are you gonna make two video games because Dell died in mine and JD died in his? Is there like a Gears 1.6 1.0 and 2.0? Like, what's going on with
right,
that?
and
Which they should have just committed. I don't know why they did that. They should have just committed.
yeah, and I feel like I'm in the
But
heavy
yeah,
minority on my choice too. The more I learn, the more it hurts.
I saved Dell. Did you?
All
Did
right,
you
all right, all right. I'm glad we're doing this podcast then. This is good. This is good.
Well, but you have to understand, my pettiness is over 9,000. Like, I found out everyone was saving JD because of Marcus, and I'm like, I'm gonna do the exact opposite.
That's it.
Yeah, like that. Like that's just how I operate.
Well,
where it's just like everyone's doing that, I'm doing something else.
I was just annoyed
So,
that JD took out Lizzie, and like that frustrated me. And he's kind of being this jerk, and he's kind of being Macho Man, not Macho Man Randy Savage. I won't put that diss on him. But like I just didn't like JD in this iteration, and plus I think maybe I'm curious to see what would happen post Phoenix generation in the story. And I was like, yeah,
yeah.
so I'm gonna save Dell. And the more people were talking about, like, I just couldn't do that to Marcus. I'm like, see, you don't even care about JD. It's Marcus.
Yeah, that exactly. That kind of bugged me. Exactly. That part of it bugged me where it's just like I didn't want to do that to Marcus. He lost Dom, and I'm like, what about JD? As if JD's like a prompt for
Yeah.
Marcus, or yeah, it's like that's how everyone was treating this. I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna save Dell, and I'll hear different voice lines, and I'll and see
Well, it was like a son to
see how
Marcus
all
anyway.
that goes. Yeah, I don't know where JD got all that insecurity from. It seems like he's like trying to like prove himself because Marcus is like a legend or whatever.
Yeah.
But maybe that's the thing. Just
At least
built-in insecurity.
it seems like they like I forget where, like, a bunch of people have told me that it's probably canon that JD does live. And the one
Yeah.
thing that I hope, I'm like, all right, if they're going that route, if they can have a lot of moments that are just JD and Marcus alone, and they work out their damn Phoenix family problems hard, because like I've read through all the books as well, and like there's a lot of family
Yep.
trauma in that tree line. Yeah. Taya's saying TC confirmed JD living is canon. I still hope that's not right, but at the same time, if they do go that route, just have some heart to hearts that would make any grown, fully masculine man cry. And I think then Gear 6 can still be an absolute banger.
Yeah. We'll see how they start.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the start. The start will be key. Hopefully, it's a good start.
Right?
Especially specifically with PVE, they can do everything they want with PvP. But yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully PVE is a good start.
PvE,
But
at least it seems like from the improvements we've gotten from Gears 4 to Gears 5, like Gears has a good PvE head on its shoulders right now. If anything, I think that like the winner of Gears 5 was PvE.
Oh, easily.
Because
Yeah.
a lot of people are getting burnt out on the same formula for versus campaign. People didn't like the Kate direction and where the story's heading that way. We're doing pretty good. We got our shit fixed.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I hopefully they do, like, that's where I'm like, man, if they just evolve a little bit of the PvE and give us enough to really chew on for a few years, and just focus hard on bringing a new versus experience that helps bring a lot more people in, that'd be pretty tight for all for all the people that I know it's the majority carry. So what I'd hope is I can do my good old fashioned converting that I've been doing since Gears 4. People insert the quote. I only played versus, and then I joined your stream. And like, yeah, you don't play versus anymore now, do you?
Exactly.
That's what I thought. Come join us.
Oh man, but yeah, PvE's by far the better of the two.
Right.
But the thing about like what is it? You said it's got good PvE head on his shoulders. It's like true, but then Michael Shannon left like hour and a half before this conversation, or maybe he left earlier, but he said on Twitter, he left. So it's just like I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah,
it's just unknown now.
It's so
I don't know if something. Yeah, that's a good word. Like I don't know if it's they got something started and now someone's going to take off from where they got started behind the scenes, or if it's like just they have nothing and then it's a blank canvas, which is probably be better.
Yeah,
I would think that way someone can start with their own vision or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I guess it's nerve-wracking, exciting, stressful as a a fan to see like what the hell's about to occur.
I guess that's exciting, at least for like my at least take from it, from where I stand and kind of where you stand as well, is like as content creators, we're kind of that like Avatar: The Last Airbender style bridge between both worlds. Like we're fans of the game. We listen to we're in the community. We are the community. And
another goat. I have to another goat reference. That is my show.
Yes,
I love that show.
Man. There's a reason we get along in this podcast.
I have the what is it? Don't forget what you're going to say. I have the what is it? There's like a special edition that has like commentary for the last ever. Oh yeah, it's majestic. But yeah, go back to what you're saying.
And I think I wouldn't forget this because I've had like this is a hot take. I've been like it's been in my brain for like 4 years now of doing streaming and stuff. I'm like, we are the Avatar. Like, I'm screaming it at my brother. My brother's like, I don't know what the hell that means. I'm like, Avatar. I don't even know. Like, is it a TV show? Yeah. But like, where
it's the best TV show Nickelodeon's ever offered. Period.
Yeah. But
but
basically, where we have that nice connection. At least if they're gonna start from scratch, or even wherever they are in the production, like I gotta get my ass rolling on making some feedback videos, like and not even feedback like I thought the story was bad, not like that, but like I have a lot of ideas for like. For example, talking about what we'd like to see, what changes we would like to see in Horde, what would be new things to keep it fresh, like what can they add to the formula already. I hope a lot more content creators like make some like what would be really sick is this type of content for verses and stuff like that too, and like just really give that like the positive advocacy type of videos. I gotta hand it at least to Shadows is the main person I've seen that's kind of championed that. Just where he's talking about versus having like a big war scene, and the more I think about it, I'm like, yeah, that would actually be pretty damn cool. That'd be pretty sweet. Like
I forget what called. Like, what do you mean, like a big like 10v10 or something like that? Is that what
he's thinking, or at least where my head's rolling with it as well? So I might be interjecting my own stuff. I've forgotten at this point, but basically, I think of it almost like Star Wars Battlefront style. Where like okay, each side kind of has like you have your different soldiers and stuff like that you can be, or if you want to get like don some vehicles, or if you want to go heavier with it. I would say whatever makes Gears of War feel like remember that Rendezvous trailer from Gears 2? Yes. Marcus runs out in the meat shield and there's all the different layers of the battle going on. If you can import that, like just bring that into a multiplayer experience somehow, where like and Gears trailers always do this, where like oh shit, that'd be crazy to have a multiplayer. What's the multiplayer? 5v5 with shotguns.
It's the same thing it is every year.
Like, I'm like, if you can find ways to make it like, maybe if they're not controlled, but like it's Brumax or Swarmax, excuse me, Swarmax on one side, and like the other side's got I don't know, Ravens or something. Insert big thing here. And like you have it down to there to the small individual shotgun battles that we know and love of Gears. If you can have all that combined in some way, that'd be pretty awesome. But then again, I don't play versus enough that I don't think my opinions is valid. That's from like I hope
Yeah.
I hope some versus people take that time and really think out like, yo, you know what would be really awesome to keep this fresh and going? Because I know like me and you have played a lot of PvE where we have a good say on that.
Yeah, it's like I think I'm basically committed at this point. I've done some verses on this game and gotten like, what is it? It was like diamond
Hey.
at one point, but it's just not like it just isn't.
It's not dry.
I don't know. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not like it's not a passion of mine where it's just like, yeah, I did get to diamond and that was kind of cool, but like when I would do well at Gears 2 versus, that was like a big deal for me.
Yeah.
Now it's just I was kind of more or less indifferent.
Yeah, I'm kind of like over it.
If I lose, I don't care, which means I'm really not invested because I'm really big on like wins and losses. But
Right.
if I lose, I don't care, and if I win, I don't care. It's just kind of like I'm just playing this, and then once I start overthinking, I'm like, okay, I'm out.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but.
Like, all right, I'm not having fun. I'm gonna just dip.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I'm gonna at least mentally check out.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you don't even realize you see, like you may be in like a because the maps may be like back to back, and you're like in this rotation. You don't even realize you're not even enjoying it. You have to like consciously tell yourself like. You're like, hey, how are you feeling about this? But kind of like Netflix if you're watching like an okay show and then they just just goes to the next episode. It just goes to the next episode and you're just like, wait, did I even like the previous episode? I should turn this off, right? Turn it off. Yeah. So it's just like
that show
a weird. Yeah, exactly. Where it's just like it's a weird like dialogue you have to have with yourself.
Yeah.
Or you end up playing for 3 hours and hating all of it.
Yeah.
Or if it's a show, watching for 3 hours or whatever. But anyway.
Right.
So. For what I was going to ask you, or another thing I was going to ask you is, and I think I kind of know the answer based off of like side stuff we've been talking about. So I heard you mention Discord. I don't think I knew you had a Discord.
Oh, yeah.
At least if I did know, I forgot. But so I guess would you say you're an extrovert? Like, cause like how I think about this.
No.
So when it comes down to your like the chat, I feel like every chat for you compared to like myself, it's just like you're committed to playing with the people you're watching.
Yeah.
For me, it's probably about 80% chance no, 20% chance because I'm usually playing with like 5 already.
Right.
So. Like I had someone who was pretty good come earlier today, but I already had 4. So it's just like, it wasn't like a bunch of people, and then when you're dealing with something like Boss Rush, it's just like, there's only so many people that even think they can do it,
Yeah.
And then also I'm pretty intense. So a lot of people don't even like, well, if I suck, he's probably going to say I suck, so I should probably avoid that too, which I need to work on.
I get that.
Because that's not always good either. But,
I might meditate on that because I'm like, I've been there and I'm like, I know I got out of it. I'm like, okay, how the hell did I get out of it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, good question. But
I don't know, but I guess my bottom line question is just like, is that so like for you conversing and being involved with your chat, is that more like, I guess if you're not an extrovert, is it more incidental or is it like where it's just a part of like your personality, or is it more like you have to say like, okay, these guys are investing time, let me invest back? Like what is, if you even think like that?
Let me think. I think like, I mean, option 3 kind of sounded the closest, but like, let me think on it because like at the end of the day, I'm very introverted. Like I'm silent outside of stream, and they always say it's like, oh, if you're introverted, you lose energy when you're interacting with people. Like I crash after the stream. I and I can't remember what, like, if it was like some cheesy anime or actually was it Final Fantasy I haven't shown. I don't know. I just think of like somebody going, "You really gave it your all, didn't you?" Like, where like I put all my energy into streaming and interacting and stuff like that. Because I think it's because of the people I watch stream, and I'm like, it was a lot of, for a while, it was me mimicking what they were doing. So I started off as a Smite streamer. A lot of Smite streamers, I was watching pro people, and a lot of pro players, they'll just casually sit. They're not focused on the chat at all. They just go and do their thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, they're locked
And
in.
then I
Yeah.
noticed just having conversations with people kept bringing more people in, or even if nobody was talking, I would start rambling conversations to myself, and somebody would interject
Yes.
with their own thing. And so like just being talkative and being very like uplifting kind of just worked for me. But
Yeah.
it is exhausting, like, in one way, because like there's a lot of days I'm just not mentally there. I mean, for example, like I haven't streamed in, it's gonna be 2 weeks. I'll stream on
Mhm.
Thursday. But like it takes a lot of energy to get going, and then once I get going, then I'm all right, and like then the chat goes in, and I get attention, and then I start feeling all right. But yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm pretty introverted. As far as for playing Gears and games and stuff, and I think that this okay. Now I'm starting to remember what I was thinking about when you were
Hmm.
going through that. But I think I played with enough well, one, I was a troll and an asshole. Two, I've played with a lot of trolls and assholes because I've been a troll and an asshole. And
Yeah.
so I guess when I play with randoms, or like when I play with people that like I don't know how they play, my
Yeah.
expectations are like, and this ain't to be rude to them, but they're in the dirt. Like I'm like, okay, I have no idea how they're gonna do, so I'm just gonna make sure I perform my best, and if they're great, good. If they're not great, all right, we then I can. I've learned as well from like my time in Gears 4. Like most people can learn unless like that's when I know that there's gonna be when it's not gonna work out with somebody too. Like that's joining in a lot of our sessions is if I see them not learning from what we're trying to, like everybody is telling them. Like, hey man, we're,
Yeah.
we're groveling at your feet, we're all downed, and you're still not noticing us. What can we do to help out with that?
Oh, that actually reminds me of something that happened earlier, but I won't get into that.
Oh God.
Gross.
But like
But go ahead.
and I think because of the way I've wanted to make content, like my idea for content, and it started early on, and I see it in not only Gears and what I'm doing, you're doing, Hollow Strife's doing, a lot of us sport folk are doing, and I see it in a lot of other games. RuneScape's my big one, where I'm like, God, those creators put themselves through pure hell for good content, and it's great. Um,
Yeah.
but like, I was like, cover every single inch of the game with some type of video if I can help it, or like every inch of my subject. Which then,
Yeah.
whenever I see you doing the solo runs on horde, I'm like, yep, damn it, there it is. Um, I'm like, at the end of the day, I didn't like. At the end of the day, I didn't want to do it that much though. So the fact that you're doing it, I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, bless your soul. Like, whenever I see somebody really sucking in a game, I keep trying to break apart what's causing them to suck, and how
Yes.
can I find a way to fix that for them. Um, Hardest one right now for me is like, how do I teach somebody to snipe in this game when I've been doing it for 15 years, and it's like there's a second nature to it now. Like
It'd be difficult
it's
because what are you
rough.
going to tell them? Like you're going to say, "Come back to me in 2036,"
Yeah.
and I mean, it's just like and like it's some of the stuff that I say, you know, like some people like for the most part, I'd say people are complimentary of like some of the stuff I do, and it's just like like, oh, how's all your classes level 20, and it's just like I can't give them because the advice they're looking for the most part is like speed runs or like boosts like or weird
This is
stuff, and
great.
like I didn't do any of that. I did none of that.
Yeah.
Like, well, let me rephrase. That was not the staple of my. I have done a surge run, but not like more than a couple of hours or whatever.
Freaking preach, man.
Uh, yeah, so it's like because what I was taught by the person who taught me, and I actually hope I can interview him. I haven't quite connected with him or reconnected with him, but anyway, it's the person who taught me like pretty much everything, at least on a foundational level. He didn't teach like, oh, let's do all this weird stuff for cards like clock runs or surge runs. My highest total for Master Escape runs is 400, and it's Ice Queen.
Oh wow.
And then the next highest is probably Onslaught, just off the top of my memory, and it's a little over 100. But yeah, Surge runs, I guess it wouldn't be Master, but Clock runs is not that high compared to like I've seen people have like 3,000 or whatever, or like I have probably 50 maybe. I have to look at it, but
I probably
the
have
point
so
is
much
just
less than that. I'm just realizing, like, I probably have like how many end runs do you have? I don't know, like 25.
It's just like, and then like, but like I can't. What is it? A lot of people don't have the time to put the time I put in, so it's hard for me to even like give them I tried to give them
Yeah.
usable advice. We're like, oh, I did this for this many hours, this much play time, and then like I give them also option B, which is typically what people are looking for. Is there's a lot of videos that have like quick XP boost this and stuff I really am not interested in.
Right.
It's just not my thing. I mean, I'm not, it is what it is as far as like
I'm totally the same
way. It does absolutely, like when it comes down to like surge runs and clock runs, or like first if I want to do like quote unquote something for cards, I'm just going to do something on Master, and it's probably going to be Ice Queen.
Yeah.
But back in the day or whatever, I don't have a reason to now to do like any like runs per se because of all my cards right now. But if that's what I would choose, or I would choose like Onslaught on Master. I wouldn't choose like a map I only kind of like, or in terms of Surge Insane, I absolutely despise. The whole I just can't stand it. But like I'll do the Surge on Master and we'll work for those 5 cards.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Surge on Insane is just like ugh.
I'm the same way. Like people will tell me different grinding methods, and I think I do need to answer somebody here recently. It's like, how do you grind your levels up fast? I'm like, I did the daily for 10 months,
Yeah,
and I'm still not there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
my combat medic is tragically behind with like level 3 intervention. Just do.
Yeah. I mean, you like for me specifically, you'd be hard pressed to find someone that has more playing time, and I personally don't even have all my classes max. I still have to max like Rampage on Jack, and then they'll be all max.
Okay.
But yeah,
it's funny you mentioned that
actually,
card in particular.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that's all I need, and then I'll be like 100%. But as far as like the classes I actually play, yeah, they're all maxed.
I just dropped 70,000 gold last week to get Rampage maxed. Life is pain. I saved up. I used basically so much of the tour duty this time around to get that card can burn. I hate that card. Like for some, I don't know why TC's odds are so low for that. They're like, I will trade. They'll be like, listen, we don't want you to have Rampage max, but I will give you 20 icy precision cards on Marksman before I give you a single Rampage.
Yeah, it's
I don't know why it's so evil like that. It was easier for me. I kept playing as Jack. It was easier for me to grind the damn gold out than it was to grind the gold card itself out. Like,
yeah, I always thought how they should have done it is not have it like some random thing. Mm-hmm. Because for instance, there's a lot of times where I'd have like over like super excess of one card, but then one card's still level, depending on the operation 4 or 5, and it's just like it'd be nice if I could just scrap. They changed it now, but at the time I was thinking like it'd be nice if I could reallocate this to max out my character, but no, I have to work real hard because this card for some reason's not dropping on Master when it really should almost drop always.
Right.
I shouldn't I've always had a pet peeve that I shouldn't even see a green card if I'm clearing something on Master. Like I shouldn't even see one.
Even like if you've got the card maxed, can we just not get it anymore? Something like that.
That too. That's another thing. Like it shouldn't be any like why, but
yeah, it just gets frustrating.
TC makes interesting choices at
it's
times.
better than Gears 4's method, though. I'll give them that. It's much better.
Yes, for sure.
It took me from playing Gears 4 Horde pretty consistently from about November 2016, I think it was, until the launch of Gears 5. I think it was in July 2019. I got this one card Berserker for the heavy. That was just a miss for me. It just never showed up. And then I finally had it. I had all the scrap for it and stuff, and it's like, Like, finding the Holy Grail, and it's just when you
Mm.
oh crap, there's a card that's like that. And, oh yeah, it's like crazy tough on veteran. As you lose health, you get
Yeah.
more damage. That's all it was. Or
Oh
wait, is it
man. Oh, you're talking about Last
Last
Ditch.
Stitch? Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, that's not the
Yeah,
right
yeah,
card.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
but yeah, it's better, but it's still rough. Anyway,
right.
yeah, I cannot give people good grinding advice because I'm like, I just play every. What do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
I played every single night. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Like it's like it's probably higher now, but the last number. Let me see what it is. Actually, no, I don't want to distract the listeners, but like it's at the time that I can remember last. It's 80 days of playing time, so it's just like.
Oh yeah,
Do you really want? Do you really want to do that?
That was when I first met you. That was Escape. That was-
Yes, yeah, exactly. That was just Escape. That doesn't even count the 30 days of Horde. So it's just like, yeah. So it's just like, and then and there's still stuff that I'm not like quote unquote perfect with. Like there's still
Oh, yeah.
areas where I'm like, yeah, I could be better here or I could be better here. One thing that's really weird that I'm really bad about, and I'm so glad I have teammates to pick up the slack is when collecting taps after waves. I almost never think to do it. It just doesn't come across my head.
It's turned into
I
a
never
whole
do it.
like it's a pet peeve in our community now. And I can see it, and I'm like, don't get toxic about it.
Yes.
Just like, but like,
And it's not like I'm thinking like, oh, like, well, someone else. I'm just not thinking about
you're just
it.
thinking
Like
kill.
it's just yeah. I'm just thinking like, okay, we just cleared wave 5. Let's get in position for wave 6. That's all I'm thinking
Right.
about. But these like everyone I know is super on top of it. Like, let's get the tabs. Let's capture the tabs. I'm just thinking like I'm just. For some reason, the way my brain is operated, I just don't think about it. Like the only time I think about it, and that's because of the skill card, is Blade Master.
Oh yeah.
I need the taps. I absolutely need the taps for Energy Surge. That's it. I'm not thinking about it as demo. Definitely not thinking about it as any other class besides Blade Master, really.
Yeah.
So it's just like, but that's something I'm really bad about. Even considering all the play, it's just a weird thing to be bad
Right.
at. You know what I mean? It's just like
I noticed, like,
know.
I can tell my community's definitely gotten like very say the appropriate word, picky. 'Cause I was gonna think of a different word when it comes to the tap. Because and it's I make fun of it because it starts with me. It's all my fault. There's no one to blame in my community but me. But like the best situation happened one night when like we had two randoms with us, and it was like me and the main 3 people that it's always in our nightlies. Me, Tulu Giant, and Toxic Taco. Me and Taco were both desperately trying to capture a tap, and we watched as our veteran random went up and chainsawed the last enemy right in front of us. Like the perfect cue in timing. We didn't sync it out. Both of us typed in chat, bruh. I'm like, we're really obsessed about the start. We're really picking, and now I notice like there's so many people we play with. Like if it's not me typing in tap or like a capital T or something in the text chat,
Yeah.
somebody's mentioning the tap now. Like, hey, don't kill that last enemy. Let's get this tap with maximize the
Yeah,
power.
yeah,
Like I get,
yep.
and then when it ends up being me that tunnel visions and like Cherry. Wait, oh, sorry. I got 2 tunnel vision. My phase was set to kill.
Yeah, it's just yeah. I probably need to just like have like a poster in my apartment saying like collect taps if you have teammates or
Right.
they'll hate you. And then
Or like I'll be charging towards the last enemy, and I'm like, wait, look left, look right, tap, 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 tap. Okay, kill. Like I'll be on my way. Like I could be in mid ramp or like mid retro charge, and like wait, are all the taps captured? Look. No. Oh, that one's there. Okay, stop running. Even if I have to go down, that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. What's really kind of like annoying is if like there's 2 left and then like there's not necessarily communication or the communication
yeah.
at the same time, and then you kill them both at the same time. You're like, oh.
Or the Mulcher silence sitting in the last one.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah. So if there's now we have like for my friend group, it's like we have like we have certain enemies we won't let live. Like elite drones, no. There's no situation to where if there's one elite drone remaining and we lose all the taps, no, that elite drone dies.
We've had
because that.
The phrase we call it, because it's happened enough times that we've given it the name, is that guy's getting a parade. Where an elite, where like say an elite drone or a grenadier or a Malter Scion or something gets like it's the last enemy alive. We're trying to cap taps, and he downs like 4 of us and almost kills us, or does kill us successfully and gets like a quint basically off of us. And I'm like, yep, that he's going back to Nexus. They're gonna give him a parade. They're celebrating his name. He's getting a statue. He killed the whole. He killed all of Delta right there. GG's. Well done.
I can see it now, like the parade where an elite drone's like waving to the crowd.
Gets a kiss on the cheek from Reyna and just well done. You did it. That guy's getting a parade. Damn it. We're so stupid. We lost a 5v1.
Oh man, yeah, I can't stand that anymore.
Right.
I'm not big on. I'm not super big on like. I know the community is, but by and large, but like for me, like a lot of people say like nerf this or nerf that or whatever. But like I'm not big on like a whole lot of changes. But when it comes to elite drones, if someone say like, yeah, we should probably nerf the elite drones, you won't hear anything from me. Because it's like, yep, that's probably true. There's no reason I should lose to a bot in a chainsaw duel. It's just like no.
That's very true.
He's not hitting B.
That's very true.
He's not hitting B. And not only do you lose all the time. Yeah, it's all the time. It's not like, oh, sometimes you get it if you hit faster or have like this modded. No, it's all the time. So, and then sometimes you'll be behind the elite drone, and then he'll magically like do a 180, and it's just dumb. A lot of that part of the elite drones, that should be way different. You should, I mean, I hate to put it this way, but you should almost always beat a bot in a chainsaw duel. That's just how but
it seems like it would make sense.
That's another story.
Or if they're going to have like varying amounts of like, all right, this guy can hold up in a chainsaw battle, let us see that in some way, rather than just, no, you're just going to lose because he has bot hand and just, I hit B 500 times in 4 seconds, come at me.
With what is I'm looking at my list here. For the when you so like when you were starting Gears 5 and then you eventually came back or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like how what was that progress? Well, I have like a couple of questions tied to that, but the first one is how was that process of like, okay, I was doing advanced and you know increasing over time. Was that like a long process for your friend group, or did it happen within a week? Like that progression to consistent master escape or semi-consistent, whatever. Yeah. Like what was that like?
It wasn't crazy. Like, also, I'm glad. Like okay. I'm glad. I was like, I hope I'm not rambling to the point where it's like, all right, I know we're a couple hours in, and I hope that like I'm not. Oh, I didn't get to like 10 questions. But
no, I'm no. Like it's like I have. What is it? I'm enjoying it. Like cool. People are watching. People are sticking around. So like, yeah, yeah, absolutely.
As far as the build back up, well, I was already basically on Elite whenever I left Gears 5, so that helped. Mm-hmm. And that was all of us kind of like everybody that was playing Gears 5 at launch was just kind of figuring out and getting their feet wet and understanding how the mode works and blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. I also knew I was coming in with some people that stayed, so I knew that I'm like, all right, they can carry me a little bit, and also I trust my own abilities to some extent. So like, I think the first match I played, like we finished Hive Busters on the day, and then I was like, that was really good. Wow, way to go, TC. Good stuff. It's good to see, lost relationship. It's good to see you're doing well. Happy for you. Good. Well done. And then we tried out Horde, and I'm pretty sure we did it on Elite, and I was sniping like a madman. And what was my FOSS had to have only been like level 8 or level 9, which then it was marksman at that point. But and I noticed I was still doing damage. I would say it probably took like a month of playing Elite, and I was like, I'll just keep practicing up a little bit. I think it was a month to get from Elite to eventually some people like pushed me a little bit, even though I didn't want to, but like it was a good thing they did. They pushed me to Incon. And then I was like, all
Yeah.
right, Incon, I seem to be doing all right. I'm getting all the bonus cards, so this is doing all right. Like, teammates are carrying me a little bit, but I'm still holding my own pretty darn well. And the levels went pretty fast there. And it's really only been whenever I knew I wanted to start making videos again was when I started saying like, let's just go to master. Like, let's just like, how hard can it be? How different can it be? All I see is like you get shoot, what's it called? Like, okay, they have freezing sniper rounds, or like, okay, all they get is this one like extra more lethal. Yeah, we always thought more lethal was like
Yeah.
the scariest thing on earth, and it's not. Um,
I guess it depends on map and character
yeah,
you are.
exactly.
But yeah.
Like it's so like whenever it came to that, like the videos did help push comes to shove. I think for most people, I can say like if you've got your class above like level 15, level 16, you got most of the cards, and you can get some of your green cards leveled up and some of your blues leveled up, you'll be all right on master. So long as you've got
Yes.
the actual gameplay sense behind it, and
Yeah.
that definitely plays more into it than I think. Because I'm thinking like I've watched some people that don't have the game sense that well come in with level 20. We all say it with randoms as well. Um, why I don't know why you're a demo using a try shot, but so I'm just gonna try and work around it.
I mean, I've seen demos use like what is it? Drop shot annoys me. Salvo annoys me. If we're talking about horde,
I can get those because of explosions and the razor hail, but like I'm like,
yeah, but you have the card. If the card said custom drop shot, I'm all for
oh
it.
yeah.
But it's just yeah, you
You're just looking for a bleeding
you have
device.
yeah, exactly. You're looking for it, like in the salvo when it comes down to like I've seen tacticians use salvo, and I'm just thinking like. No, I mean like in horde, like where it's just like because of discipline. But
Actually, I have an idea. There's been an idea that's been mulling in my head for a salvo attack build I'm going to try out soon, but ignore it. But then again, I keep coming at these videos like I don't know if you watch the YouTube channel Good Mythical Warning at all. Okay, so check them out sometime if you're bored. It's a pretty good channel. They've been going for like 14 years. One of the best series they've got is called Will It Blank. So like, the first video they did was Will It Taco. They've done like Will It Hot Fudge Sundae, Will It like basically where they try different things and see if it can be a taco. Can it be a hot dog? Blah blah blah. Like, and they'll go from something that's delicious, like all right, this taco is made of ice cream, something else, to like all right, this is congealed pig's blood in here, and like they go absolutely gross with it, and like but they're like, but we gotta find out if it works. We know it's not gonna work. Like, this is disgusting, and they're probably gonna throw up. It's like, yeah, but we gotta find out. What if it is good? Like, all right. Like, so I got one of those stupid builds ready, one for anchor and one in particular, one for tactician, where I'm like, I know this build is stupid, but I gotta try it anyway. I gotta see how it goes. What if it ends up blowing my mind? Well, that's fair.
Right. There's, I think a lot of people, I think most of the community is probably, as far as like, when it comes down to like trying different builds, is like way better than I am. Like once I know what the best build is, whatever the class is, I pretty much don't veer at all.
I can see that.
I don't test new cards. I don't try anything different. I don't do anything different because just like if this is the way to win, that's kind of I don't need to know anything else. But
that makes sense.
But the thing with that is when someone asks you a question, that's you someone asks you a question like, oh, why aren't you running? Let's say why aren't you running good kill on boss rush? And you're just like, and your main answer is just like. Yeah, there's that, and it's just like, how do I explain this? Well, my main reason would be like, well, this is the best, and then that's almost kind of like, that's it. Like someone even mentioned to me like, this actually is kind of different. So I probably shouldn't say. Well, I'll mention it.
Go for it.
So like someone said to, like on YouTube, they said, I'm trying to, I don't want to misquote them. I'm paraphrasing here, but they said like, so with Demos perks. You have the ultimate ammo regen. I'm trying to remember the bottom one. It's
assault rifle and crit.
I think it's assault rifle and crit. Someone suggested that, like, oh, you should do crit first, and I'm just thinking
what?
like, I've never. My thing was, first of all, I was like, no, that's wrong. But then I thought about it, I was like, you've never really tried that.
That's
You've
true. I've
never
never tried that
like
either.
yeah, so yeah, so
Shit.
so like
Okay.
yeah, so it's not like I can't even say if it's wrong or right, but like, so that's kind of how I left it, where it's just like it could be good, but like I'm kind of set in my ways where like if this is what wins me Master Boss Rush, then why would I try something new and
Yeah.
risk losing? Even like I don't need to test
I
this.
totally
If that makes
understand
sense.
that
Yeah,
because
yeah. So like,
I understand it from the opposite side of the table.
yeah,
and for me, I always think like, I'm always doing that like, why you like this type thing for myself.
yeah.
There's no harsher critic than yourself. Um,
That's
I'm like, well, I notice like people always tell me that's not the build, that's not the meta. I'm like, yeah, I know. The point is I want to try something stupid to try it. It goes back to just I loved the MMO Guild Wars, and I would try out all like me and my friend had every page of the Guild Wars skill wiki of like every skill that you can do. Imagine if you had printed out on a crappy little Canon printer, a every single card. You had it written out what each card does for every single class, and you just had like this little fat booklet of all the cards just printed out on your nightstand when you're going to bed. That was me, but for Guild Wars. And so we would just experiment with the dumbest builds. Like they should, there's no way they should have worked, but I get off on that. And I definitely transferred that. I gotta make sure I say that. Keep saying that right. That obsession. Yeah, appropriate words. I transferred that addiction into Gears, and I love it. And so like,
yeah.
so you're mentioning the crit, and I'm like, that I wonder if you can get a sick demo build. Now my gears are turning. Pun
Yeah,
intended.
yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it's absolutely possible.
Oh my
like,
god.
Like,
I've
yeah.
I've been low key working on a series. I'm saying it live, so nobody can steal it. Like I blame Commander CH actually for it wholeheartedly, as he showed that tactician sniper video, and I'm like, that can't work.
Yeah.
And then I tried it, and I'm like, oh my god, it works. So now I'm
Yeah.
like, what other classes can be snipers? And so now my brain's going like, Cherry, don't. Demo man, will it sniper? I'm like, okay, I think I can think of a build. This could be fun.
Well, I guess with bullet boost demo could be a good
Maybe.
sniper, maybe
Bullet boost, good kill. Maybe just emphasize the
Yeah.
cooldown reduction, throw in spotter support for the hell of it, I guess. Maybe
Yeah.
stuns, the concussive stuns or something like that on the artillery strike. I don't know. I'm thinking this up off the top of my head, but I love doing just like the absolute dumb builds, because it's like I totally get your perspective, because it's like, man, this way works. This is what gives us the win. We get the W, and I'm here to win. And I'm like, I'm here to get the win in whatever stupid way I can come up with. Like, I'm gonna crawl on my, like, do the crab walk on my hands and knees to get to the finish line, and my teammates hate me for it. And, which I'm very glad, at least in the video that came out today. Thankfully, one of my friends went in as a veteran. I'm like, thank you, because otherwise, it was on a daily with execution rules too. I'm like, oh my god, I didn't even notice.
Oh,
I'm running hammer first. Like, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot sandwich. I can't believe I didn't even see that.
Oh man.
But yeah,
that one guy from a couple of videos of yours ago is probably thinking like, oh, he's running the hammer burst build because he's got streamer privilege, so he can run stupid stuff.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, that the guy suggested doing a salvo build for the gunner, and my god, he was right though. Like I don't think it's the best build I've ever done, but like I said at the end of the video, I'm like, that was probably the easiest win I've ever had in my life, and it was on bunker. Like, and we were in the trenches, which I'm like, that always seems like a tricky place for me. And we slapped it like it was nobody's business. Like, we're like, that was it? Oh. All right.
Yeah, it's over.
The office space, well, that was easy. Yeah, I guess it was.
The salvo build's what you really need for boss rush.
Stuns on repeat, I imagine.
Yeah, stun Kestrel, stun wardens, because the wardens are like the game enders really they really disrupt everything when they rush in.
I imagine that's also where
But
I know you just usually carry a blade master with you for that. I'm assuming. I'm
yes,
like, I
yes.
never get to exactly see what, and like at least the videos I've watched, I'm like, I've never seen what the blade master is doing specifically, but I'm assuming they take care of warden small enemies. Like,
Yeah, can't they? It depends on who I'm playing with. And it depends on their style.
yeah,
Like I have, like for me personally, I'm pretty conservative almost all the whole game because I realize I got like we call them squishy characters, the ones that can easily go down.
yeah,
Like I got protect if a demo and tack go down, it's a problem,
right,
and I gotta go get them anyway. So, but like I have friends that will basically be on an island all 10 waves, which is a strategy,
hmm.
but I'm relatively conservative to where it's just like I'd like to be available to go pick people up,
Yeah,
but some people don't operate that way. It just depends on your style, what you're more comfortable with.
that's true.
Because like if you're an aggressive player, you're going to be bad at revives. Or like if you try to be good at revives, you'll probably be. What was that?
I've seen that. Just the people that
Yeah,
get
like
tunnel
if
visioned.
yeah, so like it's just kind of like there's always pros and cons to all situations, and you just kind of live with like the result, if you will. Hopefully, it's a win,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
but anywho, but yeah, the salvo build is underrated. I think almost 99 out of 100, gunner players are probably using the Mulcher build, but it's
I'm
almost useless in boss
I
rush.
think I've gotten.
But
I blame somebody that came into my community fairly recently, or well, actually, it's been like 6 months maybe. But name's Exu here. He's
yeah,
like, here, try this Torpo build out, and it's using practice every day, and I can't get over
I've
it
seen
now.
that video of
Oh,
yours.
I love it.
Yeah, I've seen
It doesn't even do the most damage, but like just I'm fast. I move around, and the
yeah,
automatic reloads. It just feels good for me. It's right for me. It's how I play.
right.
Then again, then there's the video where I was doing the Mulcher build, and I just completely obliterated a Kestrel, and I think I did like it was like 3.5 or 3.6 million damage in a frenzy, which was unreal.
Wow,
like
that's a lot.
oh yeah, well the part of the reason was because we were doing a center build on lift, like in the middle and in all the hellfire, and I'm like, well, this is good for a gunner. This is good. I'm reflecting from like every direction, and just the Kestrel at the end just targeted me entirely. Which
Mm.
you love to see.
You,
Chef's kiss.
yes.
Perfect. Couldn't have gone any
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. Usually when the gunner turns on its ult, the Kestrel all of a sudden like, wants to shoot at the air or the wall.
Yeah, you can literally see multiple
But
signs like turning their head, trying not to make eye contact, like oh.
yeah.
Or that was the one downside to that torque bow build was I had concussive explosives on. I'm like, yeah, all right, Mulcher, hit me, and I shot a torque bow at him. I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. They're sitting there stunned for 4 seconds. I'm like, well, this backfired.
Yeah, I think we've all been there. Like, oh, I have stun on this game. Oh, snap!
Whoops.
But yeah,
It still worked. I mean, I killed him just with like 5 torque bow shots versus the satisfaction that comes with that reflect is unreal.
oh man. A question I had before the rapid fire section is so I rewatched it to prepare for this stream the video that you took a break or whatever and kind of like life you took up your time.
Oh yeah, like the return
job took up your
trailer.
time. Yeah. So, do you think that you had any benefit from taking that time off creatively or any sort of way at all? Like, do you think there's any silver lining to like that forced hiatus, if that makes sense?
Yes and no. The reason
Okay.
why I left, and it was decently described in that video, was like I just had a
Yes.
job and it was
Yeah.
working in kind of like this food prep place, and it was around Thanksgiving, and my videos weren't doing well. My videos were doing viewership very well, but also I was playing on advanced, and people were like, "Yo, bro, you suck," and I'm like, I'm learning, and I don't have time to play all the time anymore." Um,
I actually got a comment just to piggyback on that real quick. I had a comment that I had noticed like late because I was streaming when I was building up my JD. It was like you don't start out with like the launcher capacity is not as high or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So it's just back when you could get it to like I don't know if it was 6, 7, or 8. I can't remember when it was like super
Yeah,
high.
8 shots
And
of
then like
I think it was 8 shots of GL, and I can't
yeah, that's
remember
what
what.
yeah. So like I was building my character, like everyone has to do,
Right.
and this guy's busting my balls for like you only have 3 or 4 shots, you suck. And I'm just thinking like, no, that I didn't see it live in Twitch. I saw it like
Man.
afterwards. I was like, this is a community. Like I can't even like build my character in peace.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
like crap.
but
I
anyway.
know people were like that a lot with builds. They're like, I wouldn't even dare use Demo Man without the grenade pouch. Like, okay, man, calm down.
Oh
Like,
gosh.
you don't need to
Yeah,
worship it.
yeah.
Like, chill.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
chill. All right,
Yeah,
I'll try
exactly.
the build. Let me see how it goes. I still need to try that. It's been like 7 months. I should probably get on it. But the hiatus took me away at a time when I was very stressed at Gears because, well, I was stressed because of the job, and then I couldn't put in enough time to
Yeah.
grind it. People were feeling comfortable going to insane when I didn't. The main people that we were playing with, and then
Yeah.
I could feel myself falling behind, and that was freaking me out. The videos were getting some pretty heavy dislikes and stuff like that because I was behind. Um, and I just had less and less time to work on it. So I just and then like the final straw was Grace, um, because I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
I saw what you said about
yeah,
that.
you're putting in Grace, $20, and like, what if she's really good? Well, don't worry, she's not. So I should pay $20 for a crappy character then? Like I was like, it's a lose lose. It's bad either way.
I still don't have Grace.
Me neither.
Yeah,
Well, it
yeah,
was a striker as far as. Um,
yeah. I like. I don't have the skin.
Yeah,
I
me
still don't have
neither.
it.
I never went and bought it.
Yeah.
And shout out to TC Octus at least for giving me. He got me the ultimate pack whenever Gears 5 came out. That was really cool. So I got Sarah and one of the Terminators, and oh yeah, and then Emil and Cat as well. That's right. That's right. Um, but like,
Yeah, I forget what one of the operations they just kind of like gave them to us. That's when I got those two,
oh okay,
like Emil and
that was
Cat.
nice of them.
Yeah, I forget. Yeah,
I felt
but
kind of
anyway.
that was the strongest I ever felt streamer privilege. I'm like, bro, I just got this game for free. That blew me away a little bit. But like, so I ended up leaving at a point when I didn't think I could really keep up to do stuff that was relevant for Gears. And
Yeah.
in that time, I came up with some pretty inventive ideas for a series that I've been thinking about for like a few years now because I've always like before this it was Gears 4 being over and all right, what's gonna happen? Well, let's get ready for Gears 5 since that got announced. But what if that doesn't do good? All right, let's get some other plans going and stuff like that. I
Right.
kind of built up on those plans. Me working this job and doing it full time, like I Uber Eats to pay bills outside of what I do for content. And so I never spare money isn't a thing. It's whenever I have enough money, I go the hell home because I don't want to stay and drive. Because, so like it's like 40 hours of work week. Just I don't want to be here, but I don't have a choice because I'm gonna get fired. Um, so like I got a bunch.
At least it's flexible.
Yeah. That's what I love about
Uber
Uber.
Eats anyway.
I wouldn't trade it.
Yeah.
Clearly, I mean, I left the jobs. But that got me enough money for a new gaming computer. Gears 5 was really struggling on my PC that I had at the time, so like getting my PC upgraded, got the camera that I got set up, which I know you asked questions about that, and it's way too expensive, is what I'm gonna tell you. I spent way too much money on this damn setup already. The green screen I got a few new capture cards. Like the money was really pivotal to me getting this content creation game. Like it's really paying off now when all I do is hit record in OBS when I'm streaming, and
Yeah.
the videos, like everything's looking great on the video. I barely have to do any work when I go and video edit it. It's just rendering it out with logos on either end and bada bing bada boom. So like it had a lot of benefits, and taking some time away from stream let me come back and feel super refreshed streaming and making content. The part that sucks is the amount of like me coming back to Gears makes me realize that damn, I would have been so much farther ahead if I didn't quit. Like if I would have just stayed making regular videos for Gears all throughout the 2019, 2020 when I wasn't making videos for Gears. I
Yeah.
see how well that tier list video did, and I had that idea for a tier list video for a long time. Or well, like about a year prior, I had that thought. Well, I had it for Gears 4, but I'm like, there's 5 classes. This is stupid. Yeah, let me separate these 5 classes out for you. It seems underwhelming. 19, that's different.
Yeah, it's more extensive.
Yeah. But I'm watching people do it for like Smite, and there's like 115 gods or something like that. Yeah,
Oh wow.
let me pick out
That's
these
like a 3-hour video
classes.
probably. Oh my gosh.
They did a good. The guy that I mainly watched did a good job of keeping it under an hour, and then here I am, 19 classes, and I can't stop making them an hour long. I got things to say, man. My 2 cents takes time. But that's probably the biggest pain point for me is like if I would have had that tier list video out in like January 2020, like I can only imagine how that would have done what that would have done for the growth and the amount of people that could have come in and like just the amount that I could have like been involved with the Gears community over those years. They're like that's probably the biggest con of it.
Yeah.
I will say though, like, and I know a lot of the Gears community right now is probably feeling burnt out, and I see burnout happening with a lot of gamers right now. Like I said, I watch a lot of RuneScape creators, and I can feel their burnout because I know exactly what it feels like because I've been streaming for 6-7 years. The amount of burnouts I had is too damn high. But like, if you need to take a break, that's okay. Like you'll be all right.
Yeah.
That was probably the most. Honestly, it's probably the most heartwarming thing about all this is like I took a whole year off, and my channel even now is doing better than it was in Gears 4. It's doing better. It's still growing over time. Like I think a lot of creators think, well, if you take a break, if you take a hiatus, if you stop, then you lose your momentum, and you'll never get back up into a good spotlight. And I'm kind of like, no, I see you can take a break and people will come back if you just keep being...
Yeah, but it's sorry.
No, keep going. I was basically done.
Just to piggyback, it's critical as to kind of cater to your personality, where it's just like how do I explain this? So like for me, like there's different things where like I would kind of like guard mentally against burnout. I mean, I've never really... I'm trying to think of things I've been interested in that I've really, really enjoyed, where it's just like I haven't really gotten necessarily burnt out with anything, at least not yet. I guess we'll see if something comes up. But like, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's like you kind of have to cater to like almost your your mental health or slash personality.
Right.
Where it's just like if like for instance, I've thought like okay, maybe uploading every single day or whatever. Like because I have time to because of the way how I structured my life, maybe uploading every single day is maybe I should cut back. So I tried that, and then like what I noticed would happen is I'd have like 8 videos on ice that I'm like, these are all good, they gotta go, so and so it's just like it doesn't work. Doesn't work. So like for you, for instance, like the opposite, where it's just like or not the opposite, but like slightly different structure where I think you do, was it 2 videos a week or whatever?
I try and stick to like 2 to 3. Yeah.
So like that's like a structure that like makes sense. If you were to do 7 the way your high quality videos, that probably would be too much. If I were to go down to 3, I'm going to be freaking out like, okay, do I need to like sell my Xbox to make sure I don't like, upload too frequently? So like, it's just like, I think, finding that balance of what works for you,
right,
first and foremost. I think that's going to be like, as far as like the long game, as far as that's concerned. Cause like, some people upload only monthly,
right?
It just depends on what, yeah, like there's a channel that like does like, commentary on different stuff. It's called E/R, and he uploads like every 6 months, it seems like.
Oh man.
Like it's his videos are so good, but he's so infrequent. So
Right.
it's just like, but that works for him. He has a large channel off of very few videos, but when he uploads, it's going to be like really, really
Gonna be
good.
a
So
banger.
it just
Yeah.
depends on, yeah, exactly. Every time, it just depends on catering to obviously your, you know, whatever your life structure is, and also your personality. Where it's just like maybe this is my homeostasis once a week, or for me
Right.
maybe it's like 5 to 7, just but anyway, that's something that I've kind of like slowly learned about myself, where it's just like, no, this is just what works for me. I shouldn't really like, or at least if it happens naturally to where like I'm uploading less, then so be it. But I shouldn't like force myself to upload less, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
So, but
Or like
anyway,
I tend to get fairly stressed out because like the amount of time it takes me to video edit is just
I can only imagine.
like well wait until you see what's coming next time. Like I'm trying super hard to like pre-plan everything, or I planned out everything I could with this new series. But I'm only doing a few of them because Gears is kind of fading, and I'm like I kind of just want to save this series for whenever I know like it'll blow up. So wait for Gears 6 or whatever game. If there's another game I fall in love with that I can kind of apply the series to, I'll do it there too. Um,
Yeah.
the amount of time
Oh,
it
it's like
takes me.
it's a general series. It's not gear
It's
specific.
gear specific,
Like,
but it can be transferred. Like
okay, okay,
it,
okay.
it has elements of like I could have done this probably for like I could have done it for Guild Wars. I probably could have done it for Uncharted's multiplayer back in the day, Last of Us multiplayer back in the day. I'm just Resistance 2. So man, yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, anyway, but yeah, like I know like over the I'm going on my 7th year of streaming at this point, and
Mhm.
the amount of stress that I get from myself and then from everybody on like Twitter, places like that, they're consistency's key. Consistency's key. How can people know when you're live if you're not consistent and stuff like that? It's always kind of like built anxiety, and just like it wrecked my head so many times, just like because it always puts stress behind it. When like
Yeah.
some days I just don't feel like streaming. It was the
Yes.
that might have been that probably is the best thing that came out of taking that year off, is like whatever falls apart from taking time off can be built back and you'll be all right. And
Yeah.
if you need to reel it back, or if you want to accelerate further, people will be there for it, so long as
Yeah.
you're just into it. Like if you're in your element and you're enjoying it yourself, and you're not forcing it super hard on like yourself, hard on,
Yeah.
then you'll have a good like people will come to it. Like dang it,
Yeah.
no. My
What?
innuendos are terrible. I didn't even mean to. It's
But
as soon as I said it, I'm like, oh no. But yeah, like I guess for me, like that's where like, that's where I kind of keep tabs on. Like I always like I know you mentioned that you might start like branching out and making videos for other games and stuff like that.
yeah.
And that's where I was like, man, I wonder if he's getting any burnout or anything like that. So I was like, it's fascinating that you said you're not. Um, but like,
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I have
go
thoughts
ahead.
that I
No,
want
no,
to
no.
say. I'm
Just
sorry.
shoot it.
Okay, super quick. Like the thing is, like, I'm always it's kind of an obsession of mine, because I just have an obsessive personality where I really lock in on one thing, and
Yeah,
I just
I can see
it's just
that.
kind of how I am. But it's just like with it's like, for instance, I did escape solo runs for a long time, but now I've kind of gravitated towards horde solo runs, and they're not as doable as escape solo runs are.
Yeah.
But that's the challenge. So
Right.
like, because at least in my mind, horde solo runs are different. That's kind of why I don't have burnout. See, I can't even think of the last time I played escape. I did
Oh
a
wow.
solo run like 6 weeks ago, and I think that was the last time I played escape. I just don't, there's nothing for me as far as my, journey or whatever. There's nothing new for me to uncover for Escape solo runs.
Yeah.
So like I told a few people like in my community chat thing or whatever, like, hey, this is the last video. Hopefully you like it. I even like hinted at it. Like I wasn't at the time I wasn't even sure what I was gonna do, but I was like, hey, this is my last solo, and I put in parentheses for escape anyways. I don't know how many people caught that, but but yeah, I guess it's just like I wasn't sure like if I was gonna be able to do any because I know how long horde can be. I know the enemy's health goes way higher than escape.
It does.
There's only so it's way more lethal. There's only so many classes that can really do it, and so many maps are doable. So I wasn't sure where to go. So I'm happy with the ones I have done so far. So hopefully I can keep it going.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of why I'm not burnt out. If I kept playing escape, I would already be there.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, because boss rush is boss rush is I'm not burnt out really with boss rush because there's always ways to make it harder. Like there'll be times where I'm like, well, we don't need a fifth. We'll just do it four.
Didn't you do
or
it
we'll
two,
just do
man?
it two. Yeah, we did two. Yeah, exactly. We'll just do it two. And I have like, like I have my good buddy who's really good, like super good, is Ross, and him and I have like 6 or 7 2-mans we've thought about that we haven't gotten to yet that we both know are doable. So those will be videos in the future. So there's new stuff in Horde because I was all in Horde, and then I was like really, really all in Escape, and then now I'm like kind of more in Horde.
Yeah.
At least some aspects of it. So it's still kind of semi-fresh for me, or at least fresh enough.
It gave you something to like really push towards. It gave you something fresh.
Yeah.
Which is
but like
nice.
I know that. Yeah, but I know another challenge for me is to be good at other games as far as that's concerned. So like. One game I really struggle with is Ghost Recon. That's something I struggle with. That I want to get good at, and then Back for Blood is new, so I can't even say like I struggle. It's just new, so I'm still figuring it out. But yeah, so I've already kind of started that process, but like it's I don't want to say unfortunately, but like I'm not done with Gears, so like I haven't really committed to those, but I still try to get those in a couple times a week.
Preaching to the choir on that. Because like I thought I was gonna jump to some Back for Blood, and well, one, I think I burnt myself out too early on Left 4 Dead, and I'm like, I don't know, like it's different enough. I see it. It looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy people are enjoying it, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel like jumping into it really. My heart's just not into it. And I'm the same where I'm like, I need to finish what I wanted to finish on Gears 5. Like, even though like this whole series isn't going to be like a complete series on Gears 5 unless, I don't know, somebody wants to be my sugar daddy or something like that and invest in me. Like, if I want to be
and sponsor it.
If they want me to, if they can say like, hey, you don't need to Uber anymore, I'll cover all your bills, then all right, bet I'll keep doing this.
Oh wow.
But
you hear that, chat?
You hear that? Like that unrealistic expectation. But that's where I'm like, if I'm just gonna get that series kind of established and set it up, and that way like people know what's going to come in the future, and then I'm noticing I'm getting excited seeing what happens when I jump back to my variety channel for a little while. And plus I missed a lot of campaign, like a lot of good video games, just like single player stuff and things of that sort. And hopefully another multiplayer comes out before 2024 like that I really get into. There's really like it's oddly bleak for what my tastes are, my preferences. But shoot, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought.
You were talking about variety in games mainly. I don't know if that triggers your memory.
Sadly not.
No.
I'm like, I like variety.
I mean the gist of what we were talking about was like the whole like I mentioned, Back for Blood,
trying to stop burnout and things like that was I can definitely feel the burnout now that we don't have any new content for Gears, but like what's driving me the most is like I really want to finish what I started, because like this series is something that I wanted to set up in Gears 4 and I never had the time because Gears 5 just kind of like came up on us. It was, oh shit, announcement trailer. Oh shit, next year, in comes the release date. Oh shit, here it is. And like we just boom, and then oh wow, I had this job that took me away from it entirely. But like, if another multiplayer game comes out that I can really get into, preferably co-op, that's where I don't know. I keep seeing the trailer for that Redfall game. That's like, it's almost looks like Left 4 Dead, but it's on vampires. That might be interesting.
Hmm.
Or Last of Us said they're gonna make multiplayer. I'm not console biased, even though I'm a Gears guy and I worked for Microsoft. That probably doesn't help my case. Like they're like, what games do you
Right.
like? Oh no, Last of Us is pretty good. They said they're doing a multiplayer there, and I was really good at that day one, so we'll see about that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just variety, or if I get super inspired to go back to a game that already exists. But I don't know. I like it feels weird because this is the longest gap I've had in like Gears content since well, actually ever. Because I'm like, wait, what was the gap before? Because it was like, no, I started on Gears 4, and then Gears 4 just kind of rode itself pretty continually right into Gears 5, and then now we have this 3 year wait, maybe more, depending on what TC and Microsoft's plans are. It's a little bit.
Uh-huh.
It seems like it's right now it's a game about trying just not to get totally burnt out, and then hopefully something else comes out in the meantime that I can work with.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just I'm always cause like one of my strengths, and I guess it's also can be seen as a weakness, is like the fact that I can lock in pretty well, but like if I start adding a bunch of stuff, then they'll all be just kind of okay.
Yeah.
Like I really take pride in like being my like maxing out my own individual ability in Gears, which I feel like I've pretty much done, like just completely emptying like what I could do as far as my skill. A part that kind of scares me, obviously there's going to be some slippage just going to a new game,
Right.
because you won't be able to get everyone from Gears to watch every new thing you do.
It always fractions off. Like I've seen it,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
hardest ones are when people are like, "Oh, I'll be here for every game that you play," and like then the first game that it's not Gears and they're not there,
Yeah.
and like for all of it.
Yeah. They're the first ones to unsub. But yeah, it's just like yeah, it's like but yeah, so like it's not even so much that part of it where it's just like, yeah, I know there's gonna be like some view, because it took me 6 months to get to 100 subs, so I'm used to like kind of like only getting like 20 views, 30
Right.
views. I remember what that felt like. So going through that again, probably on a shorter scale, wouldn't even really bother me. It's the skill thing that bothers me, where it's just like, I know for a fact if I play this severely less, I'm going to be worse.
Oh, okay, I got
Now,
you.
how much? Yeah, like how much does that matter? It's hard to say, but like I don't know if I need to kind of just like do everything I want to do in Gears, like make a list of like 30, 40, whatever things that I want to do in Gears, and then transition. There's actually not that much on my little checklist in my mind, like I
Yeah.
have the boss rush tutorial I want to do, and then there's like some horde solos, but besides that, I have like availability to do, Back for Blood, Ghost Recon,
Right.
and things of that nature. So I feel like I finally have some sort of a balance to where it's just like, as long as I do those things, I should be good.
Right, yeah, and that's pretty much exactly where I'm at too. It's like, all right, I can see where the end of my list is with a lot of my videos that I want to make.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I guess I'm looking for like, even though I'm not looking forward to like, part of the reason why I really enjoy joining the Gears community again as like the horde guy, and making these regular videos and stuff, is that it gave me a base to be off of. That was one of the biggest reasons I joined in on Gears. Was I was playing all variety games in like 2015, and I got really tired of every stream involving some backseater telling me how to play the most basic of elements of a game. It just got so old. I'm like, I'm so tired of being shit at every game I play. And so like then I was like, let's look for a co-op game I can get addicted to. And then Gears 4 came out right at that time, and like, well, yeah, I got some experience in Gears. I got like the years behind it. All right. And so like
Yeah.
then coming into that, and I was already pretty good at sniping and stuff like that. That helped, and like that kind of set me on my way. I'm not looking forward to sucking again at games. I do feel that in a way.
Yeah, like I personally don't care. I don't mind sucking in the beginning, but I better be getting
Yeah,
better. That's kind of where I'm at. Where it's just like if I feel it's kind of daunting. Where it's just like, man, like I feel like I'm not making any progress. So like, and then like sometimes I go in my mind where I'm like, oh, is this is Ghost Recon to you what Gears is to someone else?
right.
So if nothing else, maybe it allows me to have more empathy for some of those
Yeah,
situations where it's just
100%.
like oh well you're not good at Gears, maybe this just isn't your game, or maybe you just need to do you didn't hear the right word in an explanation. It could be a bunch of different
Oh
reasons,
yeah,
but bottom line, it does allow me to have more empathy for like, okay, there's more to being bad than just being bad. If
right.
it's hard to explain exactly what I mean, but like, there's more to it than that. It's more complicated than that. But anyway, so
I just that does remind me like I keep hoping for I thought of those dream games that I want to see, and like I do come from a history of like playing a lot of MMOs, mainly RuneScape and Guild Wars were my two. And
yeah,
that does remind me that just thinking back to you saying you're a big Avatar fan, I've got about I
huge. I have a poster
there
here.
you go.
It's yeah.
Um,
But anyway,
so I wrote out in I think it was in 2019 for this variety channel, or no, it was in 2020 for this variety channel that I'm doing. One thought that like I got inspired by it from a few friends of us, kind of thinking, tossing around this idea in college of an Avatar-based MMO.
yeah.
And like different classes, obviously, Airbender, Earthbender, Waterbender, Firebender. I was like, it would basically be, it's an hour and a half long video I have trying to flesh out the game as much as humanly possible. And I'm like, oh yeah, I still got that video I gotta hit up at some point. Oh Jesus,
Hey,
it's a huge undertaking of a video, but like that's a dream game. Like if that game ever came out, at least the way I'm thinking about it, it would be like it would have a lot more dynamic and fluid movement. Kind of think like almost if it was like or
mhm.
Dark Souls or Black Desert Online, but it had like fluid fighting and stuff like it.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, if there's also that idea that I've had of like, if there was an MMO that took Gears' gameplay style, like we're almost there. Destiny's kind of there, Warframe's kind of there, the Division's kind of there. Like they're getting close, but it just needs to have like the bigger open world and all the classes and stuff like that of like Gears or like Guild Wars and stuff like that. And then they've got me sold on it. Like I keep praying for that game to exist at some point,
Hmm.
or
Hey, you never know.
TC wants to try something bold.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I think they've got the RPG
Yeah.
elements down. Um, let us do some full blown open world hive busting or something. I don't know.
We'll see what they do at Gear
Yeah,
6.
should be interesting either way.
Yeah. That's undeniable. Whatever they do, whatever it ends up being, it will be
It will be
interesting.
interesting.
And we'll have to talk about it, and hopefully I'm smiling
Whether it's
when
a
I talk
good
about
good
it.
interesting or a bad interesting, it'll be interesting.
Exactly. Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting virtually regardless.
Yeah.
Still. But all right, I got some rapid. Well, I can't even say the word. Rapid fire questions for you.
Also, I'm sorry if it's like I think we're on like 2 hours plus maybe 3 hours. So
Honestly, I don't think because with like just as a side tangent, like when I'm doing my like lift shift or whatever, I pretty much listen to true crime podcasts all day, or like
alright.
Joe Rogan, and I don't know about everybody else, but the views for me are pretty steady. So I'm assuming people are enjoying
Yeah.
you and what you have to say. Get to learn more about you that they may have not already known via stream or whatever.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
some of your hardcore fans already knew everything you just said. But
The most
you
part, I
know,
would say. I'm thinking. Also, Super
yeah.
Potato, it is currently the stream uptime is 3 hours, 13 minutes, and 38 seconds. I got
Yeah,
you.
the first 30 minutes was you
Figuring out my
figuring
shit.
out the salad. Yeah, so it's not quite 3 hours.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
anyway. But yeah, I enjoyed every minute of it. So yeah,
Alright,
it's
cool,
like
cool.
I think it's awesome. But
I may also be.
all right,
Oh,
so
I was gonna, one more little mini tangent. I was gonna say I think I'm
go ahead.
scarred from the tier list of so many people saying just get on with it. Like, but I need to tell you
Uh,
why you shouldn't be mad at my opinions. Well, just show me the tier list. All right, well, don't get mad. I won't get mad. what the hell? What is it? I told you not to get mad. I'm
Well,
mad.
well, the way you see, I don't even know if I did it the way you did it. Like, see, what you did was you're like, oh, if you want to skip to the end, like I didn't even say that. I'm like, no, like if you happen to skip to the end, great. But I think you're more conscientious of the people that just kind of want the whole, just want
The second one,
get everything.
the second one, I was 5 seconds away from just being like, well, I basically did it, but I just didn't say fuck you. I was like, if you want the tier list, here's the image right here. Go away. This is like,
That,
if you're gonna get mad at me,
for
I can't do it.
For me, I like, there are a few things, like the things I don't care about, I just want to get it over with, like shopping or something.
Yeah.
But like the things I care about, where it's just like I don't know, I want to marinate on it. Like I like to hear explanations.
That's what I'm
reasoning.
about too.
Like see, for me, not saying like, I mean, I don't really know for a fact, but like as far as like learning, like because for your escape tier list, like I listened to all of it. Now, did I need to? Probably not.
I mean,
but like
it's
I like the mode. I like hearing people's perspective.
somebody with 5 days of experience in it telling the 80-day experienced player what I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you didn't need
like,
it. But
yeah, that's what that's without trying to sound too arrogant, but it's just like that. The gist of it is, I just like the dialogue.
Yeah.
But I guess people just like solutions, which is to each their own. But I like the process. If it's something I like. Now, if it's again shopping, I just wanted to I'd rather be put in like a high. Yeah, like just put me in a hyper chamber and I'll send my stunt double in, and then he'll handle it, ideally. But we're not there yet where we have stunt doubles to shop for us. So
eventually,
anyway,
maybe with Gears 6,
eventually,
or
because
if we sell enough shrimp out of the back of the van, we'll get there.
So, but all right. So, what is your? Oh, and actually, one more preface. It is in my notes a rapid fire section, but there's no rush to you don't have to answer quickly.
I'm still gonna try
or even think. Okay, so favorite class and why?
Marksman, just because I love the snipe, and the fact that they let me shoot through walls makes me borderline unstoppable. Either that or the Blade Master because of relaxing Cody. Just like that class is fast. That class is damn near invincible sometimes. Meleeing stuff, the shock chain, and it's line. There's a lot between those two. You can flip a coin. Both ones I can give a laundry list of reasons why. But those two.
Is that for Horde and Escape?
Yeah, for both.
Is that for both?
Okay. Mainly thinking Horde, but I like playing Blade Master on Escape as well. Freaking relaxing Cody with his Venom run, but I don't Roadie run. I only use Nimble. God, that changed my whole life.
Very creative. That's why I like solo runs, because you never know who's going to pull something out of their hat. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with Great Defensor, but he did a Venom run where he did no damage dealt.
What the hell?
Where it's just like, yeah. Yeah, it's just like you never know what someone's going to think of when it comes down to these runs. It's just, it really challenges you to think outside the box.
Nuts.
So favorite Horde and Escape map.
Ooh, okay. Favorite Horde map. Not Icebound. Let's see. Icebound has been cursed. There was a time when we were trying to do the up top only build, and you block off the entryway up the staircase.
I'm aware.
We were like, I can't figure this out. This is stupid. I hate it. Let's just play normally. I will literally go take a bath on the ice and die. I hate this so much.
I like Spawn. I think I'm not like the meta or whatever. But I like Spawn more than anything else.
Yeah.
But that's
I'm really trying to narrow it down fast. Between so for Horde, I'm pushing between. Surprisingly, I think Pahanu beat my ass so hard that I enjoyed it. The phrasing's all about there. Either Pahanu, every time it's like, oh god, it's Pahanu, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, it's Pahanu. Either that or probably Nexus, for the complete opposite reason, because it's a complete cakewalk every time. It's just cool aesthetics. Those are the two maps that are coming into my head the most. I like every setup and every scenario in in Nexus, and Pahanu about the same way. Pahanu for the reason that it's tough, Nexus for the reason that it's easy. Escape, as much as it beats the living crap out of me the way we play it, the end is probably my favorite.
Hey,
Because
there you go.
I get addicted to it. It's that I forget where it started, but like playing through Bloodborne and Dark Souls, and they beat the shit out of you, and like then you like it. You get into it, and you're like, all right, just let me fight this boss for another 4 hours. Hold on. The end does that to me as well. I can feel like the same brain receptors going off where it beats the crap out of me, but I love it. Yeah, Gatekeepers doesn't really match up to that. I'm trying to think of like other escapes that would also be up there, but really, the end was the immediate choice. Yeah, that's gotta be it. It's the end.
Yeah, that's a good
Love
one.
it.
I can appreciate when someone likes one of the like top 5 harder maps. That's just like, I like this
I
person.
love it, and
Like if someone says like the Descent, I'm just like, okay, all right, great.
I love the clock. It's like, okay, I mean, I love.
You don't mean that.
Yeah.
You don't mean that.
Okay. Maybe the line, because I love sniping that. Like I love when we get freaked out by a ultrasound sneaking up behind us, and I'm always the marksman, because like I'm like, do you want to win? Do you just want to win this easily? Because like, just let me snipe it because I feel good. And he just, oh god, and then icy precision, just bing, bing, bing. And, all right, he's frozen. We're good.
We did just completely. Yeah, marksman made that hive a joke.
Yeah,
if you use
the
it,
marksman
if
makes
you,
that.
If you use marksman,
The marksman makes that the line. It's bitch.
Yeah, basically, completely. He can pretty much like. The other 2 classes could be working on cards, honestly.
Yeah, I've done that too.
Yeah,
I think I carried a friend who was running Striker. Just go ahead, man. I got you. Like,
yeah, just sit and spawn, or just revive me if I go down.
Yeah.
So just so,
oh no, this whole room of scions. What do we do? Well, good thing that my ult's up.
Yeah, exactly. It's just they're standing still.
Yeah,
it's not
or
like they're
slowly moving.
So,
you can just swipe them easily.
Yeah, the marksman's super good for that hive. Let's see what else is there. All right, this is, I don't know, because since you're a nice guy, you'll probably avoid this question. And I have in parentheses that you are allowed to plead the fifth. So I'm saying that now.
I'm scared.
Okay. All right, the best subscriber / follower you played with, like someone that watched your stream, joined your game. You're like, man, that guy's good.
I feel like the best player. Oh, well, okay, actually, it might be the same. Hold on, I'm thinking. So as far as the best like skilled person that's joined in on games, it's like I like part of me always like for the whole category, I was like a best subscriber, like person that's always there. It wouldn't be surprising to anybody if I said Tulu Giant, because he's in like every single one of my games. He's been there for years now, and me and him, we get each other. We understand each other. Oh, I know there's somebody in your boss rush matches that I just can't remember their name right now, and I feel bad because
that you play with.
No, that you play with. That's probably like, it feels like they're the same way. Like he is to you as Tulu is to me, type of thing.
Well, there's a guy named Tatters who's by far the best person that was like watching a stream and then joined, and like he's super good. He's ridiculous.
Maybe.
And it's I can't even think.
I think
of
I made a
second
funny
place,
comment
honestly.
on the training grounds video. Like you might pull up a comment I made, and I mentioned his name.
Wait, the Smudge.
Smudge.
Smudge was Smudge's. So if like the question was asked to me, Smudge was a subscriber who reached out on YouTube. That's and cool. Like we did a ton of awesome stuff since we had our relationship. We did like number one score runs that are still number one now.
Yeah.
We did a bunch of mid-map challenges that because there's something wrong with me. If something's easy, I have to find a way to make it harder.
Right.
Like,
this is easy.
Yeah. Like we did I don't know if you saw any of my stuff then, because I don't think we knew each other, but like we did the Center Pahanu.
Oh, what the hell?
Like we were literally, this was before Blade Master.
Oh,
so
man.
we didn't have that. Yeah, so we were set up in the middle of Bahanu. We had you can't bring the fab to the middle. Actually, you have to like have it on the side. But
Yeah.
our physical characters are in the middle. The center of Vaskar, which was difficult. We did a couple ones that were easier than that, but those two were the ones I'm super proud of.
Eventually, I gotta get on
a
that
horde
myself.
level. I wanted. Hey, if you want to collab,
That's
you
it.
know,
Like I keep saying to my chat too. I'm like, whenever we do boss rush, just remember we gotta send Turner a message. We just gotta let him know. As far as people I've played with for skill as well, I mean, Tulu's up there. Grouch on Couch is definitely up there. He was incredible at the game. Well, he still plays it. He just doesn't stream anymore. Ninja Demon Hunter's definitely up there. Spuddy, Super Potato in chat's also really good at the game too. Or at least just like I from consistently from Gears 4 to Gears 5, I remember Potato just being there and always like whenever you get somebody in and it's like hyper reliable, like it's just like that. It's such a sigh of relief. Like
yeah, like I already mentioned Tatters, but like when Tatters joined from the stream for the first time, you really don't know how it's gonna go, and I'm more on the side of like, because I do boss rush.
Mm-hmm.
If I was doing like other stuff, like let's say Jingle Juvies, I probably would be indifferent to who joined, but because I do boss rush, I'm kind of nervous. I'm like, if that person's not like okay, we'll probably lose. So it's just like, I'm like, okay, we'll see how it goes. But then like for multiple waves in a row, he would be leading in damage.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, awesome. I don't even have to think about you anymore. I can just think about myself.
That nice?
Yeah. So it's just like, so that's always such a blessing. It's such a needle in a haystack. Type deal.
The last honorable mention I'd throw in there would be Toxic Taco, because he started joining, like he came into my stream while I was playing Doom Eternal, and then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be normally streaming Gears. Do you like Gears? He's like, I love Gears. Like, cool. All right, do you want to join us? And like, I think I've never seen somebody that has such a good game sense of just to know how to play a game, even though like he hadn't played it in a while before he started regularly joining us in the evening sessions that we do and stuff like that. And just like we were goofing around on versus one day, and we did like a canal sniper fight, like the classic Gears 1 days, and he was beating everyone's ass at blind firing. Like, and I'm like, okay, like how are you this good when I know how long it took me to get to where I'm at with sniping. I'm like, Jesus, man.
Some people just got a feel for it.
That's
an unexplainable feel for it, but yeah.
It's like you can feel it whenever like when you're on the end and shit's hitting the fan, and like, you know, I think of the people that have pulled through the best, and that's like whenever and I'm also freezing up because like, oh god, there's so much here, and I just gotta find an enemy to chainsaw or something, because I'm the nomad most times.
Yeah.
That between those names I said.
Okay. If you were to pick, are you able to pick one, or are you, I think you mentioned like 6.
I think if I had to, if gun was to my head the most skilled, I would probably like.
That's what this
is. I would probably.
No.
All right. Oh god. Oh, there's the laser. I think I would throw it at Grouch, like, because well, I think the biggest thing that I think of is he was the type of guy that. I was watching him learn how to speedrun maps in Gears 4 and do it efficiently, so basically nobody was ever going down. Like, he was one of those like masterful players, which you're right up there at that. Like, you remind me of him in that sense.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yes.
But cool. All right. Big shout out to Grouch for being awesome.
Hell yeah.
Okay, these next couple are going to be Pittsburgh specific. But it's gonna be cool stuff.
Here we go.
Cool stuff. I'm just letting the stream know that you may not be able to relate to any of this stuff. You have to at minimum live in the Northeast with some of the questions I asked. But anyway, favorite place to eat in Pittsburgh.
Oh boy.
And there's only one for me, because this is a very serious question for me. There's only one correct answer.
What would you say, Permanis?
That's 2. That's number 2 for me.
There's only one correct answer. There's 2 correct answers.
Well, there you go. Is that what you're saying?
No, I was just like, wait, is that the answer? So this is weird because like as long as I've lived in Pittsburgh. I mean, I've lived here for about like, well, 2014, so 7 years. Yeah, it just passed 7 years.
Yeah.
And I live 2 hours out of Pittsburgh, so technically Pittsburgh, but it's not really. It's Diet Pittsburgh was where I
Yeah.
live. Um, but like I've never really gone to that many restaurants around here. I've delivered to them via Uber though. So I'm like, which one has been the best? But then it's like those aren't really like your high, like they're not your high class restaurants or anything fancy, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Like I just keep thinking of like Red Tea Houses, like this Chinese place on Green Tree Road in like South Pittsburgh. That's pretty fire. That they're always good at delivering, and it seems like they give you a shitload of food for the price. Like you see people's receipts. I'm like, oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Fiordi's Pizza is also up there. Is pretty tight, and I know that's pretty well known for Pittsburgh. Permani's is all right, although strangely the Permani's I've had that was the best was outside of Pittsburgh in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Which is I'm like, yeah, go figure. And then the one that I went to that's the closest near me, it was like mediocre, like 5 out of 10 was like how it went for me. Like, oh. And I'm like, man, you're so close to the city too. That's rough.
Yeah.
What is your answer? So let me. I get
My answer, and this is more or less because of nostalgia, because I actually been there recently, and actually technically like some places a little more, but merely because of nostalgia, the answer for me is Sheets.
Oh yeah.
That's my that's my favorite place to eat when I go to Pittsburgh, because I found out the hard way. Sheets is not nationwide. It's in like maybe in Ohio. Are they?
They're trying to expand. Like I've seen some in like I think I've seen some in Virginia. I've seen some in Maryland. I've seen some in Ohio.
I've seen some in West Virginia.
So
Virginia
that's right.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I think there's like 4 or 5 states, and they're all kind of like touching Pittsburgh.
Right.
I don't even know if it's in New York. Honestly,
that's what I'm like. Oh man, I don't know either.
yeah, but yeah, Sheets is my place.
That's
I mean,
true.
there's like since I become vegan, what is it? I like there's a place, I forget the name of it on, but it's called Square Cafe. It's like in Squirrel Hill. I don't know. You don't live on that side.
I don't, but I know that name.
it.
Don't mind me just really quickly. Square Cafe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've been around it. Yep.
Yeah. Square Cafe is that's my place. Next time I go back, I'll be going there. And anytime I see a Sheets, I freak out. Like I like literally freak out. I'm like, I can't have hot dogs anymore, but I gotta get like a big slushie and like a big thing of fries. And it's just like,
it's the way.
Anyway.
It's such the way.
It's just my buddies and I, because it's 24. I don't know if they changed it. It was 24 hours when I grew up.
Oh yeah, it's still 24 hours.
Okay, excellent. But yeah, we used to go on. We'd be grinding gears or whatever, and then it'd be like 2 in. We'd be like, okay, we gotta go on a Sheets run because we're starting to fade a little bit. Let's go. Yeah, so it's just like I have so many good memories from that. So anyway,
that does make
Sheets will always have us. Go ahead.
That does make me think of like there was a few times where my main mod, he would always just come in like. There was a few times we would just go and meet up at a Sheets after a stream, and it's like midnight, 1 a.m. and just
exactly
grab some cheese sticks and just hang out for a bit.
Yeah, it's the place. It's just like
Also, that's the best food there for me. It's mozzarella sticks. I'm a sucker, and that's why I need to keep losing weight, and then I look worse on stream because I'm out there eating these mozzarella sticks. It's terrible.
Yeah, I've had those, and those are bomb. I don't think there's anything bad on the menu, honestly.
Yeah.
Everything's delicious. Yeah, but yeah, the fries are good. It's probably one of my favorite fries in general. And yeah, everything's just. Oh, I miss it already.
Right.
Okay, I got to move on because I can't get to it anytime soon. Okay, here's what were you gonna say?
No, I didn't say anything.
Okay. Okay, I don't know how much of a sports fan you are, so this will either be an irrelevant question or like a very difficult one. So, here it is. You have free tickets to the Penguins, the Pirates, and the Steelers, and you can only choose one. Where do you go?
I'd probably go Steelers. Yeah, I'd have to go Steelers overall. Like my family grew up very heavily into football. I'd probably say first place Steelers, second very close by second place is Penguins, because like at least maybe it's just me, and maybe because I don't get that deep into hockey. most times it seems like the Penguins do solid a lot of times. Maybe they get
Yeah,
out in the
they
first
do.
round of the playoffs, but they do solid most of the time. Plus, I owe them because the amount of games I've Ubered during, and like this city freaking breathes like its life support is the sports teams. Like
Yes, absolutely.
if you try and go out and Uber deliver after a Steelers loss, I didn't deliver much Sunday because it's snowing and mess here. But they tied. I imagine it was awful. It's like
Yeah.
businesses die. When I worked at Best Buy, did the Steelers lose? Yeah. All right. Well, we might as well just get ready to close now. Might as well just go in. Like just
Yeah,
the city wants to
I
die
remember
right now.
that.
But if they
Yeah.
win, all right, get ready. They're gonna start ordering food. It's a weird. I don't understand the logic behind
Yeah.
it, but it happens. It's some sort of
It's just,
Pittsburgh
it's
mysticism.
just, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So like I
Absolutely.
owe the Penguins for a lot of wins, and I was Ubering during I think one of the times that they were in the playoffs, and I was making bank on those nights. So like I owe them for that.
Mhm.
Penguins, I like it. And then the Pirates, like you go there for a nice day. Skies out. Hopefully, blue skies out. Hopefully, it's a nice day.
Right.
You're not really there to watch
I
the game.
No, I can't stand. If someone gave me free tickets to the Pirates, I don't think I'd take it. To be totally honest,
Try and sell it to get some
but
sheet dogs or something.
yeah, like I'll give you this for 3/4.
Yeah.
And then,
Basically.
but
What about 50
but,
cents?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, no, I need those 3/4.
I need a quarter for all of me.
Because yeah, I was about to say that. But what is it? I think for me, it would be Pirates isn't even an option for me. But number one, I think would be Penguins. I feel like I feel like I like the people on the. Like I'm at like lately I've been like Roethlisberger has really been getting on my nerves on a personal level, so just I mean, but yeah, exactly. I'm sure I've said that, but like Crosby, Malkin, the whole crew have never annoyed
They're
me.
good people.
and in my estimation, compared to the Steelers, I don't think the Penguins really ever underachieved like severely.
That's what
they
I'm
may
thinking.
have like not. Yeah, the Steelers have definitely underachieved since I've been like a Steelers like old enough to know what the Steelers are.
Yeah.
So like they've definitely underachieved a bunch of years. I can think of probably like 5 years real quick that they've underachieved because it's just like, and then that is it's okay for your team to be like clearly not good, but when they're great and they play like they're not good, that's worse.
Oh,
that's
God,
way
yeah.
worse. So
I think what gets me with like I just never got strongly into hockey. It was a weird culture shift that like I remember in high school. Like it jacked me up because like one year we come in, everybody's into like new metal, like everybody's listening to System of a Down, Linkin Park, and like Devil Driver and Killswitch Engage, and I'm like, hell yeah, I vibe with this. And we're all watching football. Then the next year, everybody's like, oh, I love country my whole life, and I love hockey my whole life, and I'm like, no, you haven't. You lied. I'm like, what do you mean? Country? Who's put like country in the bus? And like, just like they tied together. It was hockey and country music. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I don't know either.
everybody just suddenly was like, oh yeah, I love the Penguins my whole life. And I'm like, bro, you never even talked about it. You never even mentioned it.
There are those fans that are being a little disingenuous, but like I probably became a Pens fan. I think I was like 17. Like I wasn't, I was a Steelers fan since like 8. So like if I were to say some shit like that, that would be a fucking lie. But it's just like because like I actually got into it because of NHL '09.
Oh, there you go.
Like all my friends were playing it. I was like, hockey's kind of fun. And it was like let me watch this. Is it still fun on TV? And it was still fun. Let me go to a game. And it just progressively got better. And then there's also like maybe the difference like I was watching football for so long and hockey almost felt like a new created sport just for me so there's that as well that may have had a factor, but yeah, I still enjoy hockey.
I think for me too, like with hockey, I was into playing it, and like I played soccer all throughout school, so like they kind of had that okay, so instead of kicking a ball around, on grass, you're on ice moving a puck around. It's like the a lot of the concepts remain the same of like keeping your defense going and just like the way the mechanics worked were similar.
Yeah.
I noticed I never wanted to watch it. I wanted to play it was always the thing. And
Yeah.
we did like and like we had a lot of backyard sports at my mom's house and stuff where we did roller hockey. With, like, you know, if it got icy, we'd go to some different places to ice skate and play hockey and stuff like that. I enjoyed playing it. I could never get into watching it as much.
Mm. Yeah, I
Personal
definitely get that. Yeah, yeah, mine's kind of like it, but I've had like, you know, in high school, I guess trying to fit in, you start to get weird influences. There's like a 2 month period where I was really, really into screamo.
There you go.
And it was literally just 2 months of my life. It never happened. It never happened after. It never happened before. So it's just like I would go to like I don't know if you're familiar with me. Try to get the names right. So there's Impending Doom, I think is one of them. There's Chelsea Grin.
Okay.
And then there's Terror.
I've heard of all those bands, but I've never listened to.
Yeah, I've been a part of mosh pits, and
go.
I didn't know what the hell I didn't know what the hell to do. My friends just got me into a mosh pit. I was so scared. I was just like, I don't want to get into a fight with people I don't know. Like, I don't dislike any of you
It's
guys.
respectful
Like,
fighting.
yeah, exactly. That's what it was. I was just like, I'm not gonna punch someone I don't dislike. You know what I mean? Like, that's a tall ask for me.
Yeah.
And you know, they taught me a bunch of weird stuff. But yeah, that was a weird phase of my life that. Yeah, and then they never spawned back up again. You know, never. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking during that phase, but yeah, that was funny. That was fun.
What it feels like with these hockey people, but then they never stopped with the hockey. It just kept going. I'm like, okay, I must have missed. I missed the baptism by hockey. I guess. Fine, whatever.
See, situations like that make you kind of feel crazy. You're just thinking like, did he mention? Yeah, did he mention in a conversation at breakfast that he liked hockey and I missed it? It's just like, is it possible that I've been like not listening the past 10 years?
I know.
And he's been a hockey fan this whole time.
I never saw a single jersey for hockey. Or if somebody did, it was like, wow, that's rare. Cool. Where'd you get that? And then all of a sudden, it was like 9th or 10th grade. Everybody started getting hockey outfits, hockey jerseys. What the hell?
Yeah.
How did this happen? And you know, then they started listening to that damn country song, Honky Tonk Badonkadonk, and I'm like, what? When did this happen? Where's my bullet for my Valentine? Where's System of a Down? Put on the prison song. What are you doing?
Oh man!
Stop playing the charade.
Oh man. What? Let's see. I think you already answered this. I have this in my next question because I love talking about sheets. Go. So mozzarella sticks is what you would order. Because like what it says is what would you order? Okay. That
hands down, their fried food is just where it's at for me. Although, crap, what was it? There's either that. Their chicken strips are pretty fire. You can get a good sub from them too. Like good subs and sandwiches.
Yeah.
I like, you know, if somebody's telling you what sub place you're gonna go to, if you're not going to any place special, go to Sheets. That sound mean. Like, you know, like if you're not going to a special deli, like, you know, the Jim's Delicatessen or something.
Like you're not gonna propose at Sheets, but you can do everything else.
I might.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, I
while you're waiting for your MTO, just.
Oh man. So, all right, my last little thing, and if you could be thorough with it, that'd be best. But you know, whatever comes to your mind.
Far too thorough is my middle name. It's a really weird middle name.
Noted. All right, so for you, Mr. Quench.
Okay.
I'm assuming that in the long run, whatever that looks like, you want content creation to be your only thing, right?
That is right.
Okay, so give me a rundown of when that day comes, what your typical day in a life would be, like how you visualize it, you know, whether it's the most ideal situation or just a normal situation. What do you visualize your day in and day out being? And delicious. If you want to give like a, what is it? Because, you know, I'm probably like part autistic or whatever. But anyway, if you want to give like, oh, I'd wake up at 5 a.m. and do this until 7. If you want to do that, I'm game. I don't know if anyone else be into that, but I know I would be. So,
So
however you want to answer that, you answer.
I don't know, like I think for my days, like I always dream of if my days did involve me getting up earlier, because right now it sucks. Um, because of the time zones and like, we're doing these nightly gear sessions super duper late. I'm the East Coast guy. And
Yeah.
uh everybody else is usually on the West Coast, or close to, like maybe Mountain Time or something like that. Um, so it's like 1:30 in the morning when we end up getting off. I have to, wind down, and I fall asleep like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, wake up at 9, 10 a.m., which as winter's coming, there's barely any sunlight. I like the day. It's nice. If I
Hmm.
could wake up at like 7 in the morning, yeah, 7 sounds right. I'm rolling with it. Like 7 in the morning, and like, get up and be healthy, go out and do a workout, be it if it's going out and
Yeah.
doing an outdoor activity, or I would want my own in-home gym and not like I just signed up for a gym membership, and it's fine, it's good. I just like,
Hmm.
I like to be loud and grunting and noises, and I can be gross. uh, and just get my good workout in. Nasty, gross, sweaty, sloppy workout in. And I probably work on videos through most of the day. If I wanted to do a stream, it would be probably pushing into like more of the evening time. Like I like my stream time that I've got now is pretty good. Kind of like that 4 to
Hmm.
5 p.m. start time, ending at about 8 or 9 p.m. Seems like it's been the best so far. My stream schedule's gone like I've done like every hour basically. What
Hmm.
there was a point in time when I was starting. I would get home from Best Buy. I would start at 10:30 and go until about 3:30 in the morning. It was
Hmm.
a wild stream schedule, which was cool because I would catch people in the UK as they're waking up, and that was neat. But at the same time, my sleep schedule was a disaster. Like waking up at 11 a.m. to go to work at 12. To
Yeah.
be at work at 12 was awful. Um, and I've done early mornings. I've done late in the evenings. I've done what last year was all about 11 o'clock to 5 p.m. So I would go on Uber in the evenings. That also went moderately well. So having an evening stream so I can get a lot of the people in the United States as they're getting off work and whenever to join, and be it Gears, be it whatever game was making us happy at the time, hit up that would be nice. But
Hmm.
I know for me the biggest thing, like I'm bad with specifics on this, but like I know I'm not like people say like, man, you're a hard worker. I'm like, no, I'm not, man. I'm really not. I am a person that like values time and peace over everything. Like today, for example, I'm gonna do a little bit of video editing probably after this call before we get on our gear sessions for the night. And
Hmm.
like I can only work on something for so long before it really starts grinding at my neck basically. Where I really want to
Hmm.
take a break, or like I just like to be comfortable. I think of like if I had my own place. This is always what I talk about in streams as well. It's like my dream setup of a decent sized house, and then a garage, like a big ass like garage in the back, like something you'd park a boat in or something like that. But I would section it
Yeah.
off to have, my full blown streaming room. It'd be my man cave that isn't a cave, it's outside in a garage. Um like it's the way I think
Uh,
about it. Even if I have a significant other or I don't care. I want like my own separate place. Plus, then it would give me an excuse to separate myself from my fridge, which is also good. Because I'm separate. That means I gotta walk through the snow to get that. Maybe that'll be enough of an obstacle, and I can just be loud and have my own space, and just like when I get loud on stream, I realize I'm living with like my brother right now, and I gotta be super conscious of that and stuff. So like
mhm.
just having my own space to really just be, if I am loud, I can be loud and there's no repercussions
Mhm.
behind that. Um, and
Right.
I can have my own privacy there and just like have those moments of peace when I'm not being loud as well. Uh, this is this is mildly more personal and more gross than I should probably mention. But like one of the worst things that's been happening lately is my neighbor's been working on their yard, and I
Yeah.
wake up, and my window in this room that I have my studio set up in, it faces this neighbor's house directly, and I wake up at 9:30 a.m., you know, all right, fresh new day, the sun is out, let's go ahead and open those blinds and open the window. I open the window, and he's out there, and he's got larger than plumber's crack hanging out as he's working on his freaking yard work. And I just go, ugh, and I close the window, put the blinds up, and just walk away. Today's the day I'm going to start with a smite match and not start off strong today. And it's and it's happened consistently, and I'm just like, I hate it. Like, I think of the space I would have if I was full time streaming and creating. Like, I would try and keep videos as consistent as I can. I definitely would try and hire on an editor that like could tackle something of my likeness, or maybe something a little bit better than how I edit videos, just to help out with that production flow. Because god damn, it takes so much time to get these up. Like, there is so much time on this video. Like, I have like 40 hours in this video, and I have 2 minutes done. Like, it's like that.
It'll like when you get to that, when you eventually get to that level, it'll be good to have the leverage where you can like, okay, that guy's editing, so I can work on the next one, you know. And then it's just a constant flow. And if you decide to do, if this benefits you, obviously it may enable you to have more uploads, or you know, more streaming. So the leverage will
and
be
the
good,
streaming can be like, there's that thought of like financial independence is always the way I say it. Like, that would change the name of, like, the streams would be less stressful because there's not the weight of, oh, this can be a career at this point. Like, you know, the bills are taken care of at this point. The videos I can really get creative with, and I don't have to, like, if I need to take time to get a very strong upload out before, like, you know, having regular uploads, that can help as well. Like, you know, it just kind of makes life a heck of a lot easier. Otherwise, like, even though I've set myself up in a bit of a chokehold with the way that I've gone about this, because I mean, I have how much of a year gap? I've got like 3 or 4 years, maybe 4 to 5 years of employment gap time where I've just been Ubering, or like haven't had a job and stuff like that, and I made these like really risky and, to most people, stupid moves for the sake of growing this channel and stuff like that. But it has set me up that I do have the agency. I have like that freedom to do, like, you know, I chose this week to have a stream Thursday because I don't know, I'm going to be coming off of a weekend that I just want to get to work on some videos. I don't feel like streaming Tuesday. Let's set it up for Thursday. Like, having that freedom to do that. Like, everything else is pretty much set up, so like, you know, at 5 p.m. On a Monday, I can just go ahead and do an interview and a podcast for a while, you know? Like,
exactly.
It's been nice that, like, other than just needing money, like, it feels pretty good to be, like, at least in this position, needing the money, and then the money to have a nicer place where I'm not looking at plumber's crack all the time. Would be great. No, it was one of those, just like, if I was an anime character, my face would have turned blue and the big sweat drop would have. Like, 3 freaking days straight, it just happened. I'm like, man, I even need to move.
Well, I guess just say to yourself, at least sometimes, you know, like, you know, if I'm feeling like down or whatever, like, it's not always going to be like this, you know, because, you know, this is just a season, and then, like, you just don't know. As long as you stick with it, there'll be a payoff. It just, tomorrow, a year from now, the when is what you don't know.
Right.
And, you know,
it gets harder with each year, but, like, at the same time, I definitely feel like I've come a long way from the little turd that I was in 2015 when I started streaming. Like, I've mentioned it a lot in times in stream. Like, I was an entitled asshole when I started streaming. I really was. Like, and I just say that so bluntly because I really was. I remember being mad because I expected viewers to be in stream and stuff, and I was like, bro, like, thinking back, I'm like, man, that was so messed up that I was like that. Like. And now I have people, like, you know, some people will be like, hey, sorry I wasn't in stream. Like, no, you don't have to worry about, like, not being in stream. Live your life. You know, I'm here to entertain when you're here. Like, you know,
exactly.
I'll appreciate when you're here, but, like, you know, at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just
absolutely.
Like, I guess the theme behind it, to conclude the thoroughness, is just to have the freedom to do whatever the hell I want at any point. And whatever, and that doesn't mean like go skydiving or spend $2 million. Just like, just to be able to relax and chill and like live the rest of my life.
Yeah, to do day in, day out what you really want to do, like what you're passionate about.
What excites me.
So,
yeah.
Trust me, I definitely get that.
And these videos do excite me. Like even this idea that I've had, and I'm keeping it vague still. But this idea that I've had for the series, it's been like 3 years now, and it's still like I'm editing it through, and I'm like, oh my god, yes, this should be pretty sweet. Like there's still that spark to it.
Hey, it's do you have estimated time of release?
No,
or is it?
I'm trying my best, but like, well, one, I'm learning. Like, it's one of those things too. When you really get into video editing, it's when you go grocery shopping and there's always like a couple things you forget, and you go, oh, son, and then you got to go back and get those things. That's what's happening. Like, I put in a video, use a Pahanu match for this shot here, and I'm like, do I have one? No. Okay, what's the daily for today? I think it's bunker today, right? I'm like, ah, damn it, no. So I'm like, all right, well, I got to substitute in footage. All right, I can use a bunker match, so I got to film that tonight. Make sure that, like, I'm just like the other things you don't think about, or you try and plan around the best you can, and then it just like, oh yeah, I forgot this. Like, damn, yep, there's bunker. There it is. Bobblehead, mustache. Oh, must active reload. Okay. The way they changed must active reload. Just like, I like the way that it was before. I know it caused glitches, but I went in trying to snipe, and the fact that you have to hit the button to reload when your magazine's empty for some reason is agonizing to me.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that mod, but it's a mod that I'm sure somebody likes.
It is what it is. But I guess considering I don't want to be completely self-centered, what would you answer for that question? Going in as big or little detail as you want to go into.
Oh, day in the life for me. It's roughly similar. Basically wake up, work out, because if I don't do it, I used to have a real big passion for working out.
Same.
But then like when I started I actually had a gym business for 2 years. And
oh wow.
Just that whole time, that process actually sucked the life out of my desire to work out, because it became it really ruined it for me. And I'm like, it's taken me a while to get back into like, it's now a chore. I used to be, anyway, I digress. So the day in a life, what I would visualize, the wake up time. I don't know if I don't think the consistency would actually be realistic for me.
That's also true.
Because like especially because it's not realistic now. Like I don't do it. Like I don't even know how you do it. Like you have a stream schedule, and I envy you for that, because it's just like, I would like to say like,
I mean, it's not consistent at all for me, but like I think it's like,
well, it's not.
No, like I haven't streamed in 2 weeks, and it's been like flaky like crazy. But I think what I do is like set a backbone. Like, just, all right, ideally, I want to stream, like, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, blah, blah, at time. And, like, have that, like, when in doubt, I'll be streaming at those times. And if you don't, then that's okay. Like, I think that's been my way of going about it.
Okay.
Which goes way against the streamer coaches. The consistency is key. How can people know when you're live?
Yeah, it's pretty dramatic.
Clearly, I have a bone to pick with.
Yeah, it's like for me, it's like it just depends on what I'm interested in that week.
Yeah.
And it's always, sometimes I'm like, okay, I want to do, stream, and if typically if I'm streaming something, it's like a custom escape hive, or boss rush, or something to where the chat can hear me or a few other people. And sometimes I might only be interested in like making tutorials for a week. So it's just kind of
right.
I'm not in a regimented mode. I may do like the principles of the day may be the same. Like maybe every day I start with a workout or edit a video, or something I want to keep doing until I literally can't is responding to every YouTube comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something
Yeah.
that's something I've been pretty. Even if I felt like, man, I really don't have much to say to this one, I try to say something,
Right.
like, you know, but now if you know, down the road, ideally, if it gets out of hand and I got like 1,000 comments, it's just not gonna happen. But
Right.
until then, I'd like to stay consistent with that. And if you're watching and I didn't respond to a comment on your YouTube video, I'm sorry. I probably just didn't notice, but you know.
Also same.
So anyway, so yeah, just starting the day with workout, and then honestly, probably 30 minutes of just checking, like, I don't know if there's like a gaming magazine or something like that, but checking something of that nature to see if there's anything new to talk about. Whether it's Gears or whatever I'm doing, getting back to YouTube comments if I hadn't done it throughout the day, whatever, and then probably just at that point stream. And like as far as like editing, making videos in different languages, featuring other channels, you know, that would just be like different ways of leveraging. Like one thing I do want to do. Is and this is kind of like something I'm 50-50 on. So I have skill card videos that are, you know, obviously in English because that's what I speak.
Yeah.
But it would be nice if I was bilingual.
That's something I want to do too, man.
And I could do skill card videos in Spanish or French or German. So it'd be nice if I knew them all.
Right.
That way I just be like bang, bang, bang. So that way I just like dominate, you know, the market. Be like, if you need a skill card video, regardless of where you're born, you're gonna come here.
Yeah, you've got that backing. And
yeah,
and this game
that'd be cool to work to.
This game has an amazing like not divided community, but it's an amazing community of like English speaking and Spanish speaking in particular. That would do wonders
absolutely
for the Gears community.
Yeah, so I'm torn between learning Spanish or just investing in someone who already knows it and just not taking the time.
I get that.
I don't know long term which is a better like business decision necessarily. I see value in both. Like if I learn it, I'll have it forever. If I pay someone, I don't have to take the time. It just depends on how I want to rationalize it. So that's something I really want to do. But yeah, it's like it wouldn't have that much structure besides the fact that work out every day, check comments, and stream probably every day, maybe 5 to 6 times a week if it's my only thing.
Yeah.
But you know, there's other semi ventures I'm because you know I'm always interested in something that's challenging. So if that whole growing process becomes like easy per se, I'll probably be looking for something hard in real life to do because that's just how I operate.
I get it.
So, but
yeah.
But so it just depends on. There's a lot of factors, but that's kind of the gist of it. Where yeah, if that makes sense.
I just think about you saying streaming every day, and I'm like, it was just wild whenever I knew I had to stop streaming every day whenever I literally didn't have anything new that was happening between the days. So I had nothing interesting to talk about, and I was just like that stage fright started kicking in. Like I did a good job of like hiding it, I think, but maybe. But like that's when I knew like if I'm gonna come back from this 2 weeks and I'm gonna have so much to say, and it should be a banging stream on like it should be pretty good on Thursday. Because I'm just gonna ramble off about so many things that have happened in 2 weeks. But like there was a point when I was doing 6 hours a week, 6 hours or wait, no, 6 days a week, 10 hours a day. One digital eye strain is a bitch. Like my eyes hurt like all the time. And two, I literally had no energy and nothing special to say because all I was doing was sitting in this chair. Like that was like it became a real problem. So like given if you do streams consistently like 5 days a week, so long as you got the energy and you've got plenty of things you want to keep hitting up, hey, more power to you.
Yeah.
I think of that and I'm like, God, I can't do it. It's like
I guess as long as I can think of a creative, if it feels forced, I won't do it. But as long as I can think of a creative way to move forward, like, okay, what am I doing today? Okay, it doesn't have to be Gears. It could be,
Right, right.
whatever. So like, or it's like maybe I just do a Q&A. If I can't think of anything creative, I just won't do it.
Yeah.
But fortunately, so far, nothing has happened to where like I can't think of an idea. Like even today, I thought of something that might be cool where it's like, so like something that they do in other games, like Madden specifically, where they'll say like, "Oh, the next game I lose is when the stream ends." So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
considering doing that with Boss Rush, where it's just like, okay, the stream it'll go until we lose.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah. So that's just an idea I literally thought of today. So
Nice.
as long as I can think of interesting stuff to do. Or at least interesting in my own mind. I don't know what anyone else is gonna think, but
I mean,
as
hey,
long as I can,
what there was
yeah,
always the phrase. There's a phrase that I keep hearing more nowadays, which is inspiring. Is make the content that you would want to see, make the content
yes,
that you would want to watch.
absolutely,
And if you're
yeah,
watching it and you're enjoying it, and that's what I mean, that's what I did, and that's what I think you're doing
yeah,
as well.
yeah,
I watched Smite people document their videos of, all right, I'm gonna try this god after this balance update, and here we go.
yeah,
And bam, bam, it's a clip from their stream. I'm like, wow, that's easy as shit to edit. Okay, I see this. What if I just
mm,
tried this for different Gears Horde builds?
yeah,
And there you
yeah,
go.
exactly,
Which then is fun.
yeah,
I go into my my streams with like a plan. All right, we're gonna hit up like we're gonna try this build, this build, this build, and this build. And our biggest problem is that we get it in one try. And then I'm like, okay, so I only had three things
uh,
planned. The three matches are
yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah,
Does anybody need help running the daily?
yeah. That's another thing where it's just like for me, I there's a chance that stream might just end.
Yeah,
like,
and I'm like,
if
I really like, I like to end at a similar time too, but I'm like, oh no, I'm like running out of ideas, man. I need to meditate and
yeah.
think. Like, oh
Yeah,
god,
what is yeah, I'm a marathon type person, so I like if I set something up that's going to be like super long, but I only do part of it, it's just like, well, it's super long, so it's okay, but I think I'd be in a pickle if I did what you did, where like, oh shit, I typically have 6 hours, but I finished my plan in 90 minutes.
yeah, it
I don't
certainly
know.
does
I don't
pickle
know.
you.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know if I have 4.5 hours of ideas. I can just think off the top of my head right now. So,
So,
um,
so far,
anyway,
it's been solid where I've been able to I'll just look at card builds and somebody might say something in chat that gets me an idea. I'm like, hey, you know what? Okay, man, let's try this. I think it'll probably be stupid, but let's try it anyways. Um,
right.
and then it gives me something to try, i.e., where I me experimenting with trying to get a good brawler train build going. Um,
Yeah.
where you're just focusing solely on using the train. That thankfully that kicked the crap out of me for a long time. So that was loads of good stream content. Just lots of me dying. All good stuff.
Yeah, Brawler and Horde is
Jesus.
not easy. Not easy at all.
Especially shout outs to TC adding Lambent and Poppers. Uh,
Oh yeah.
God.
And that made it even
Just
harder.
pain. Just that. I'm like, that's it. That's all I have to say is just ow. Um,
Oh man. I wish they made that Scorcher card better, but
right.
I don't want to go off on.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
mind
but
if they just.
anyway.
I would like if Soothing Warmth didn't have like a 2 point, within breathe it, I'm basically kissing this ice ion for the heal.
I wish it was like if anything on the map was on fire,
Or if it
you
was like
know.
forced healing, like Thrill of the Hunt, that would help.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's just never been, at least for me. I don't know anyone else's experience, but it's always just been okay.
Yeah, I
This,
tried to use. I was like,
yeah,
man, this has got to be the use of Soothing Warmth. There's got to be a good. There's got to be a
yeah.
good build for it, and I just couldn't make an excuse for it. I ended up going with. Oh man, I know I gave credit in the video when it comes up to the guy that actually did the build that we saw first. Smartin, I think is his name.
Oh, the killing time or the
Yeah, yeah.
the the, the, the tackle build that he video. Yeah, yeah.
Right. I'm like, I tried my best to try and get Soothing Warmth instead of just Perk Up and the other Damage Dash on, and I just couldn't. I was sad. I was like, Soothing Warmth just doesn't do enough, man. That was so bums.
Yeah, not nearly as much as it probably should.
Yeah, that'll be
But
that'll be a good conversation for a video. Is just talking about some balance changes. That'd be nice to have. Not that TC will add them, but hey, food for thought for Gear 6 of things to try.
yeah, yeah. Maybe they can steal our ideas and give us money for it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's at least a nice meal, and maybe
yeah.
let us come up
Some
and
sheets.
visit,
Yeah, give me a $5 sheets meal and I'll be gold.
or well, they're Canadian, so like, can they give us like Tim Hortons and we go visit the studio or something like that? That'd be pretty cool. I'd be down with that.
Oh man. So that's all I have for you, man.
All right.
Is there anything you want to plug before we end the stream?
Go subscribe to my Cherry Quench Gears of War channel. That's all I got.
Okay.
I'm trying to.
And he has an exciting video he's working on for the past 4 years that will be uploaded tomorrow. Okay, bye.
Wait, tomorrow? Man, if there was any physical way, huh? Yeah, it'll be out. It'll be out when it's ready. This is gonna be the best answer.
It'll be out when it's out.
I am going more try hard than any hardcore wall bouncer I've ever seen in any shotgun 2v2 Nashers match that I've ever done on this video. I am wall bouncing the whole map with Nimble on for this map for this video. All the stops.
Wow. Well, I'll end it here, and
all right.
we keep talking after. But all right, thanks for listening, guys, and again, thank you, Cherry, for taking the time.
Yeah, you got it. It was fun rambling with you.
Yeah, it was fun. Take it easy, guys, and thanks for listening. Peace.
Bye.